for Jonathan Taylor. There he goes again. 50, 40, down the far sideline. He might do it again. 10, 5, touchdown! Indy!
The Eastern Conference Championship has been captured by the Indiana Pacers.
Felix Rosenquist, he wins the 110th running of the Indianapolis 500-mile race.
This is the Fan Morning Show with Kevin Bowen and James Boyd.
Well, a good Wednesday morning to you. Hamilton County, James Boyd, that is where we call home again. The opposite side of 32? That's where we were for the start of Colts training camp over there at the Droplight Grand Park campus. But today it is all about helping Hoosiers in the Heartland, and we are live here from the Kroger off of Logan Street in Noblesville. And certainly for those that live up in this area, they will have fully felt the effects of the flood here over the last week plus. Definitely if you go a little bit south of here, kind of the Conner Prairie area. I think I mentioned to you guys, my dad works at Conner Prairie, and he's sent some aerial shots of just the flood damage there. And it has impacted this store here off of Logan Street at this Kroger in Noblesville. So we're here helping to raise money. Thank you to the American Red Cross. They have obviously been a huge, huge part in helping Hoosiers in the Heartland. So we're partnering up with Fox 59, CBS 4. You come out today. You can do the little roundup at checkout. You can also give via our text line, 317-239-1070. You send the word GIVE there. You will be sent the link. And again, we are helping Hoosiers in the Heartland on this Wednesday morning. We got all the stations here. Yeah. This is a jam-packed. You can see it on the YouTube stream. It is a jam-packed day for us live in Noblesville.
I'm typically only seeing your beautiful face every morning. And now I see a few others. We got engineer Cam Blankenship on site. So excited for a fun day. And again, all you can do, or really all we want you to do, is to continue to text GIVE to, like Kevin said, 239-1070. Help us out, help Hoosiers out. And it's cool to kind of be back here and hopefully, seeing how things are, seeing people kind of get out and about. I'm sure some people are still kind of struggling, so anytime you can help out, please do so, and we plan to do so throughout our show today.
Yeah, so this store was underwater for those that were unfamiliar with maybe, this part of our listening area here. It is now back open. I actually stopped over at the gas station before because I was needing some gas. I thought perfect place to round up and do a little a donation. It is still yet to be open. They're hoping today, but it just kind of goes to show you some of the effects of this. And James, when you look at this parking lot, it's not like you would assume, oh yeah, that would be a flood spot or something like that. So it's just kind of a reminder of all the damage that has happened here.
Yeah, historic flooding for sure.
Yeah, 1,000%. So again, live here in Noblesville off of Logan Street. That is the Kroger location we are at. A good Wednesday morning to you. Thank you for spending it with us. We were out at Colts practice yesterday. We'll recap things over there. I'd say probably a little bit more of a positive injury report for the Colts as we still await one big name to get back into practice. So we will hit on that. Mark Dykton, good morning, back in studio.
Good morning. I miss you boys this morning, but I can see you on Zoom. You look handsome as always, and I assume that if you need any grocery shopping, you can walk about 15 feet and you'll be right in there.
Yeah, you can get it done.
Hey, look,
grab me a bagel.
I got my Kroger Plus card.
Oh, see, I actually graduated to the digital card.
I got my Kroger Plus card. Have I ever looked older?
Yeah, you do like old.
You got to hold
man.
that up at the Pacers games, Kevin, so they can give you a gift card or something.
1,000%.
There we go, baby.
I'm waiting for that second quarter timeout at a Pacer game. And I got my keys ready for a big third down.
Oh, my gosh.
Let's
You're
go.
a sicko. You're a real sicko.
Let's go, Noblesville Millers. Let's go, Zach Reiner. Let's go. Come on now. Tom Coverdale, shout out. David Bediah, shout out. Forest Park Golf Course, the 9th hole, great sledding hill, shout out. What else we got here? The Mill in Noblesville. That the Pacers G League arena is like the other way, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Have you been to that place yet?
I haven't been yet, but you know me. I'm a basketball fiend. I got a Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame shirt on today, so very fitting. I will make it there someday soon, and had a chance to get to Braden Smith actually at Tyrese Halliburton's charity softball event Monday night, and he's encouraged for his opportunities with the Boom and also with the big team, the Pacers.
I believe we will be there come March for the Horizon League Championships.
Yes, sir.
That's now moving up there here this year. James, let's start with yesterday over at Colts practice. Again, no more training camp, but we are allowed to watch this week of practices. Quick little rundown on news items. Alec Pierce still not back to practice.
Right.
Shane Steichen used the word, I believe it was hopeful, yesterday.
Yep.
That Alec will practice today or Thursday. You know my old saying about when coaches use the word hopeful.
Well, I don't know your old saying about it. I'm going to guess it's something along the lines of it doesn't mean much.
I'm hopeful to play Augusta National later today.
Well, I wouldn't say your hopeful is the same as their hopeful. I think theirs is a little bit closer than you playing at Augusta. Although I do hope you get there one day.
So you think hopeful's got some substance is what you're saying to it?
Well, when Shane says it, yes. And we've dissected this for years now with Mr. Steichen, the coach of the Colts. And I think that typically he says nothing about injuries. So when he says something, that lends me to believe that Alec is progressing in a positive manner. But like you said, until we see him out there actually on the field doing football activities, all we can do really is just kind of make educated guesses and speculate and reanalyze and overanalyze walking videos. I got another one yesterday, and Twitter was sending it to all their doctors.
Yeah, he walked right in front of us.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I didn't know if he was saying, take this limp and throw it out there on social media. So we will await now today. 1 o'clock today, we'll be back out there for practice.
Sir.
Tomorrow, they'll have a shorter practice. That will conclude their week of work. Again, 2.5 weeks away from the start of the season. We now know the plan for Saturday and the preseason starters, and Anthony Richardson and Riley Leonard. We'll get to that. Keenan Allen was active yesterday because they were down their 3 top pass catchers.
Yes.
No Tyler Warren. No Alec Pierce. Josh Downs with an undisclosed injury. He was walking out there.
Yeah.
Good news on Javarius Ward. He was back to practice, just limited action from an individual standpoint. But, James, that had been 3 weeks. So I think that is a big-time positive development in his status for week 1.
Yes, and I do believe we will hear from him later today, Kevin, to hear, in his own words, what kind of happened, where's he at health-wise, and will he be available for week 1? Because, he's been through so much on and off the field the last year plus with the Colts. And so from a human standpoint, you root for him to succeed, but also from a football standpoint, they really need him to be a good defense, and that secondary looks a whole lot different without number 7.
Let's hit on the biggest news item to many Colts fans yesterday. Do you like the jerseys?
I do, but I also feel like I am not a softie when it comes to jerseys, but I'm not as critical. I like most of the jerseys that people put on for games. I do hate the Indiana Knights jerseys, but these are much better than those in my opinion.
They look like to me like if the Detroit Lions played on Thanksgiving and all of a sudden they decided to say, we're going to honor the Duke Blue Devils too.
See, I'm not that critical. I think they're fire. Blue helmet, gray. I wanted it to be all black, to be honest. Black uniforms with the blue helmet, but I'll settle for gray.
Yeah, what do you call that? Yeah, gray, I guess, is what you call it?
Well, I guess you call it the Anvil Strike uniform.
The Anvil Strike uniforms, yes. So they will be wearing these for one game each of the next 3 seasons. So 2026, that game will be week 3 against the Texans. Dude, they could go inside of Kroger right now and buy a Speedo. Just win the game. I mean, I don't care what they're wearing. Week 3 against the Houston Texans, it's the biggest game of the season. You can go in there. Don't all these Krogers have like all the local high school stuff in there?
This is true.
You go in there, find a Noblesville Miller T-shirt, and rock that for 4 quarters. And if you walk off the field beating C.J. Stroud and the Texans, by all means.
I keep forgetting, or not forgetting, actually remembering because you keep bringing it up. They have not beat the Texans since 2023. Anthony Richardson, that was his second start, I believe, in the NFL.
So Shane Steichen has coached 54 games in the NFL. Is that right? 3 years? 51 games?
Yes.
3 times 17?
I'm doing the math. I'm like, hold on, brother. This math you doing, your parents would not be proud.
I'm already jumping ahead to 18-game season. That was his second game.
Yes.
So game 2 of 51.
Yeah. Remember, he scored 2 touchdowns to put him up, and then he left with a concussion. They kind of just held on at the end.
Yeah, I think the jerseys are fine. I've always said with the Colts, I think the Colts kind of hold on to their traditional uniforms maybe a little bit more than a lot of NFL teams, frankly. So, yeah, and again, this is a Nike initiative for those that are not following the AFC South. And Mark, it's you guys, right? It's the NFC North?
Yeah, I believe so. That's how that works.
Yeah, so AFC South and NFC North teams will wear these. The jerseys that I want, and James, you've seen these pictures in the Colts complex. The jerseys that I want them to bring back are the blue pants.
Yes. We had a whole debate about this over the summer. What's the best Colts uniform?
Jim Harbaugh, Marshall Faulk looking blue pants.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I mean, just kind of white jerseys. I don't think you really doctor up the road uniform, if you will, too much with that. That's the uni that I want to see. But I'm totally fine with this. And honestly, this is just the NFL's way to, makes more money.
Yeah, that was
be
one of
totally
the
honest.
questions we just got in our YouTube chat from Miles. I don't understand the need for special uniforms. Is it just marketing or something else to sell? The latter. It's always about the moolah, baby.
It's about the moolah.
They partnered with Nike, and Nike said, you're going to have new uniforms.
And today we're about giving the moolah back to the community here,
Yes.
live off of Logan Street in Noblesville. We are at the Kroger in Noblesville. Now, Mark, who do you think the Kroger shoppers are from 7 to 8 a.m.? You think we're going to get grandparents from 7 to 8 and then slowly migrate into stay-at-home parents as we get closer to 10 o'clock?
I would guess so.
we
Yeah,
can-
you're getting the early
would think so.
risers, the folks that have already had breakfast probably 2 hours ago. So yeah, I'll do some grocery
Yeah.
shopping now before I have lunch at 10.
Boy,
Or the sickos like me and JMV. If I didn't have this show, I'd probably be playing basketball this morning. Then after the basketball session, you go and get the groceries as soon as you get off the court. That's how you get it done.
Maddie Bowen knows this. I am so Team Kroger. I am a sucker for anything I see. I'm an aisle shopper. I go up and down every aisle. And
Okay.
anything that catches my eye, and if you throw a little coupon action on it, you better believe I'm in the back of my mind knowing this card that I'm going to swipe is going to save me so much money when I check out.
Yeah, I am a big swipe the card first at checkout so I don't forget to do it. Because the few times that I have, I'm always like, oh, I just gave away $3 for no reason. And I'm also now keen to the scan my phone, QR code, download the Kroger app. Like, I'm in there. I feel like I'm a true adult when I'm grocery shopping.
Text GIVE to our text line, 317-239-770. You do that. Again, we're raising money here. Thank you to the American Red Cross. They have obviously been such a spearheader in all of the flood-related damages to our friends, our family around the listening area and around the entire state of Indiana. So thank you to Fox 59, CBS 4, along with us here at Radio 1. You can see it in the YouTube stream. You can see in the background over there. You got Tony Katz's loud mouth. You got Sean Copeland down there. You got the great folks, Annie and Cole there from Hank FM. So we are out and about on this Wednesday morning. And if you come out to a Kroger location and you get to that checkout, roundup action. We've all been there before. It pops up there. You can round up. And again, raising money here for the American Red Cross. And this specific Kroger was actually underwater here just a couple of weeks ago when we were dealing with all of that historic flooding. A lot on the docket here on this Wednesday morning. We did get some clarity yesterday. It kind of happened in the 9 o'clock hour of where would the SEC, where would the Big Ten fall in these, hey, professional athletes going back to college sports. Sean McVay, early quote of the year for 2026. I guess we're now in the back half of 2026, but Sean McVay, an excellent quote. Some of these NFL coaches are making me laugh pretty hard in some of their reactions to this stuff. So we'll make sure that we touch on that. Mark, maybe a spot to give away in the fantasy league after we did not do one yesterday?
Maybe.
How's that sound to you?
We could do that. I'm also trying to set an over-under.
Okay.
You guys have a garbage can behind you. I'm setting the over-under at 10.5 of people that actually use it during the show. I'll see if it hits.
Oh, I'm taking the under,
Oh, hammer
way
the
under.
Hammer the under.
Yeah.
Hammer the under there. Oh, is Carlton bringing donuts early in the morning?
Man. What a
Man,
guy.
look at this. No better way to start an opening segment here. I forgot we're in your neck of the woods. Fluff Bake Shop,
Oh,
back
man.
and about.
That's love right there. I feel like Carlton. I see him whenever JMV's shooting bricks on his truck over out at the golf outing. We told JMV I said that too.
Was JV shooting bricks last night?
He played pretty well. We had a good little run down there at Center Grove, and I'm always grateful to get out there with my guy.
Stephen Holder at 8. We get started, I would say, more from a local college football standpoint here this weekend. Kevin Lynch, yes, the son of one Bill Lynch, year 2 for him. Over at Butler, the Selleck Bowl, 1 o'clock on Saturday. They will host Georgetown there. They actually take on the defending national champs coming up early in the season. We'll chat with him in the 9 o'clock hour. Good Wednesday morning to you. Again, we are out here in Noblesville off of Logan Street, the Kroger up here. Come by, say hey, and most importantly, we're raising money for the American Red Cross and trying to help out our neighbors in need. Kevin Bowen, James Boyd back in studio. Mark Dykton, thanks to everybody for helping us set up here. 93.5, 107.5, The Fan.
Checked Out. Brought to you by Bet365 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Well, Noblesville, that is where we call home on this Wednesday morning. The Logan Street Kroger is where we are at. Come out, say hello, and most importantly, we're raising money. Hoosiers in the Heartland. This specific store up here, unfortunately, had pretty significant flood damage from the recent, obviously, rain and floods we had in the month of August. So come out, say hello. You can do the roundup when you're checking out here at the Kroger. And if you're not able to make it, text GIVE to our text line, 317-239-1070. That'll send you a link to donate. Seen a few people already do that on the text line, so thank you very much for that. James, let's get to a morning check down. You and I were both at Colts practice yesterday, back at their own facility. We were able to watch the 90-minute or so session. Your big takeaways from yesterday?
I look at the backup quarterbacks and I'm like, man, not a whole lot of consistency there, Kevin. I know we've been debating, who's got the QB2 lead. Is it Anthony? Has he taken a slight edge? Perhaps. But I didn't see a whole lot of consistency out of those backups yesterday, and that was kind of par for the course. And I think I've been riding the wave along with the fans of like every single pass that Riley or Anthony throws. I'm analyzing it and reanalyzing it. But the bottom line is that both quarterbacks are flawed. And really, it just reinforces that this season likely hinges on number 17, Daniel Jones, staying healthy.
Daniel Jones, very nice finish to practice yesterday. That was without his top 3 pass catchers. He found Keenan Allen a few times. So we'll give some more practice thoughts coming up on the other side and explain a little more detail what the plan is for Saturday. Preseason finale, Colts and Lions. That is 1 o'clock, and you can, of course, hear that on our airwaves. Fever back to practice today?
Yes, they are back at practice today.
So Friday will be their final game before they take that FIBA break. And weirdly, with how the WNBA has worked this year, James, we've clinched the 8 playoff spots.
Right.
It is a super top-heavy league this year with the first 8 versus everybody else, and now it's all about seeding. And the Fever are in a jumbled mess, frankly, for 2 through 8. Minnesota Lynx probably going to be the 1 seed, but 2 through 8 is an absolute jumbled puzzle right now, and that matters greatly in settling these spots. So I know they're going to take a multiple-week break here and then come back and play their final 4 regular season games, but James, each of these games the rest of the year, and the Fever do have a favorable schedule, assuming the Lynx rest some players late in the year, it's going to be something to watch.
Yes, huge game coming up Friday against Connecticut. They haven't had a great season. That should be a win for the Fever, but you can't count it until you play. But to your point, Kevin, you're trying to get at least into the top 4. The Fever right now are in the 5th seed. The top 4 get home court advantage in the first round.
Shout out to listener Mark Facilities working here at Kroger. He stopped by during the break and offered some thanks for us being out there. So we absolutely love being out here. So again, we're at the Kroger in Noblesville right off of Logan Street. Major League Baseball yesterday. Reds lose to the Giants per usual. Cubs losing to the Diamondbacks. Cardinals is at 13.
I was going to say, Mark, your bullpen, brother.
Dude, I went to bed and they're up 4-0. I woke up, they lost 5-4. I'm like, what the hell happened? So that they should be 5-0 on this road trip. Instead, they're 2-3, and they could be within like 2.5 games of Milwaukee. I'm like, come on, killing me.
Cardinals losing 13-1 to the Orioles. White Sox over the Rangers. Indianapolis Indians back at home. They beat Columbus tomorrow night. Lexi Hall, speaking of the Fever, throwing out the first pitch there at Victory Field. She'll be signing autographs for the first couple of innings, and so you can check that out tomorrow. Yesterday announced Indiana, Darren DeVries, and their non-conference basketball schedule for the upcoming season. A lot of neutral site flavor to this schedule here. Probably the one thing missing, I guess, would be the non-conference home game or even the marquee non-conference road game. But neutral site-wise, they'll play Syracuse. That is Monday, November 9th at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, so that's here locally. They'll take on John Calipari in Arkansas at Madison Square Garden. And, of course, they've got Kentucky at Lucas Oil. That is also on a Friday night, November 20th. They will play Missouri at home. That's probably their most marquee non-conference home game there. But that was announced yesterday. And I saw you see Ronald Norred got quite the marquee commit yesterday.
I did not see this.
Yeah, Jaylon Lyons, a top 50 recruit in the entire nation for the class of 2027, a point guard, I believe out of the Maryland area there. So, when Ronald Norred was hired, And I'm trying to think, James, were you with us? I think it might have been Mark and I when he was
you
in
and me,
studio
Kev.
with us. Yeah, back, I guess probably about a month ago at this point, Mark. I think there was some serious potential there for this. Could your recruiting get better? Could you connect specifically, honestly, with some point guards? And could you kind of play that game, whereas the portal game is going to be a little bit more difficult, just frankly given the finances of the Big East and where Butler lies in that. So this is a step certainly in the right direction from that aspect to it. So I saw that news item yesterday. Speaking of Butler, we'll have Kevin Lynch, their football coach, joining us in the 9 o'clock hour in Indy and Marion tomorrow. That is 6 o'clock from Key Stadium. The Fighting Mark Dykton. I'm picturing Mark Dykton leading them out of the smoke of the helmet onto the field. But yesterday, he didn't even know who the head coach was.
Exactly.
Put me in the mascot uniform. I'll go out there, start barking at everybody.
I do feel like Mark would be a good mascot.
Greyhounds, right, Mark?
You know it. Roo, 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 roo. Or however a greyhound sounds.
That does not sound very inspiring right there.
I thought that was pretty good.
I don't know. I feel like we might go out there and get curb stomped.
That was good for
Well, that's what you gotta
7:26 in
consider.
the morning.
I'm critical, man. Hey, Blue has set a high standard. That's the mascot I see the most around these parts.
All right, coming up on the other side, again, what were our reactions yesterday from Colts practice? We'll run down an injury report that I'd say mostly falls in the good news category, although we still await the return of certainly one of the more important players to this upcoming season. So much more. Again, we are live here in Noblesville off of Logan Street, the Kroger. If you're up in this area, certainly come by and say hey, and at the very least, if you can't make it out here, we're raising money for the American Red Cross and helping out our neighbors from a flood standpoint. Text GIVE to our text line, 317-239-1070. When you do that, you'll get a kickback to donate. So thank you for helping out our neighbors in need. Kevin Bowe and James Boyd and Mark Dykton back in studio. This is the Fan Morning Show on a beautiful Wednesday here in Indy.
Today's Fox 59 Weather Authority forecast from the Armor Air Weather Center. Armor Air, we do what's right on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
We're going to have partly cloudy skies today ahead of widely scattered showers and thunderstorms later this afternoon and evening. A few strong to severe storms are possible. I am Fox 59 meteorologist Amber Hardwick for The Fan.
Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my man.
This is the Fan Morning Show with Kevin Bowen and James Boyd.
Jolene, Jolene, please don't take him just because you can.
Mark, I think I told you a couple years ago, went to my first ever SEC football game. Me and three buddies down to Knoxville, Tennessee, Georgia, and plenty of hype around the game. And we had an absolute blast. Tennessee and just that area around Neyland Stadium was awesome. I will say it was probably one of the more claustrophobic stadiums I've ever been in, though, from 100,000 people in kind of an older venue like that. But Peyton Manning walks out at halftime.
You shook his hand?
I did not. No, not from wherever we're, section 238 or, the opposite 20-yard line. But the roar was obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Peyton Manning walking into Neyland Stadium. Peyton was the first person to walk out in order to set up the next person, and that was Dolly.
Yeah.
And when Dolly walked out, if I thought the stadium was loud for Peyton, it was about 100 times louder for Dolly. And I guess I didn't fully realize her, frankly, global impact, but definitely in that part of the country. Wow, wow, wow. And Peyton Manning and her arm in arm walking out there as she sang Rocky Top, you would have thought these Tennessee fans died and gone to heaven.
Well, yeah, rest in peace to a legend. Lost her yesterday, but she has to be on the short list of greatest Tennesseans of all time. I mean, hell, she's probably got an argument to be the GOAT. So
her philanthropy in general
news.
is out of this world. Like all the donations and stuff she did is just crazy. Whether it's the Imagination Library, that's the one that hit the most when I told my daughters that she died last night. They're like, that's the woman that gave us all our books, because there's the Imagination Library where any kid before going to kindergarten can get free books and stuff. It's like, yeah, she did a lot of good stuff for everybody. So that one hit hard for a lot of people yesterday.
Yeah, I agree, Mark. You kind of bring back some memories. Yeah, I was a part of that crew who got some books as well and made sure that I could read them, and probably why I'm in a role now where a lot of reading and writing and talking is a part of my daily job. So, again, just rest in peace to a legend and someone who was, like you said, very free-hearted. And it's always cool, Kevin, when you have a legacy that I can't say universally loved, because there's always one hater out there, but like she's
pretty darn close.
Yeah,
man.
I was gonna say it's pretty unanimous or close to it for someone of her stature.
She did Rich Right, where she did a lot of donations and stuff that even went under the radar. She's like, I don't want my name on it. Just here's money for music programs and all that other stuff. So it was pretty fascinating to read all the stories about her and all the stuff she did that no one even knew about until she passed yesterday.
Speaking of money, we are live here in Noblesville, the Kroger off of Logan Street, and we're raising money ourselves. The American Red Cross has obviously been absolutely monumental in helping out our neighbors in need here from the historic floods that we've had in the month of August. And this area specifically was impacted significantly. Listener Spencer was showing us some pictures during the break. He lives right across the street from here. And, I mean, it's jarring, James, to see some of these pics. This Kroger specifically was actually closed for a bit there due to some of the flooding. And so if you come out to a Kroger location, and come out to this one if you live up here, and say, hey, we'll be up here. All of our stations, you can see in the background on the YouTube stream, we'll be out here all day long. Jake and JMV will be out here as well. But you can round up at the checkout and contribute money that way. If you can't make it out here, text GIVE, G-I-V-E, to our text line, 317-239-1070, and you can donate via that. Several people have already done that this morning, so thank you to those listeners that have done it. Yeah, it's a huge opportunity to give back, a very easy way to give back if you don't have a chance to get out here to this Kroger. And as you know, Kevin, we're Kroger enthusiasts. I've been a Kroger card-carrying member for about 4 or 5 years now. Your boy. See, I've graduated to the digital card. But what do I have here? I have 2 cards.
These are two good cards, though.
I have the Indianapolis Public Library, and I have my Kroger Plus card. Here it is, right here. Am I ready for a Pacers Jumbotron?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. You out here looking like somebody's uncle.
It's third down. Here I am. Got the keys out.
I'll tell you what, though. I have been
Do NFL stadiums do keys on third down, or is that more of a high school, college thing?
I think that's high school.
You know what?
College.
I never thought to ask. What do they do? Is it just JJ Stankovitz?
I think it's just be loud, and then, you got the three.
We got to get out of that. That's too cool. We can't be too cool at NFL games.
You got the three crazy people in each section, and then you got people that are like, kind of sit down.
Yeah,
we've been standing for the whole time. Sit down.
Have you ever done that? I have never once told somebody I'm at a sporting event to sit down.
Do I look like someone that would be telling other people to sit down?
Please don't. Don't ever become that person. I would disown you.
Yeah, I think that is pretty much well said. Speaking of football, we were out at Colts practice yesterday, about a 90-minute session. Let's actually go to Saturday for a second, James. For those that are attending the preseason finale, they're going to see what from a playing time standpoint?
So you will have quarterback number 1, at least for Saturday, Anthony Richardson Sr. up first in the first quarter. Second quarter will be Riley Leonard. The starters will play, according to Shane Steichen, about a series or two. I think he said 8 to 12 plays, Kevin. So not a whole lot of opportunity there for the starters, but enough to kind of get your feet wet, get reacclimated to just the hitting and physical nature of football. But they'll be without 2 starters who are very important to the team. Daniel Jones, JT, they're healthy. Nothing's wrong with them, but they will not play in the preseason.
We can slot, I think, Tyler Warren into that group as well.
Yes.
He sounds like is going to miss this whole week. Shane Steichen says they just want to be extra cautious with that right groin. I would assume it's fair to slot Alec Pierce into that group. He did not practice yesterday. Again, hopeful, the word that Steichen is using, and Pierce potentially making his return to practice today or tomorrow. So basically for Richardson, I assume that means he'll be with the starting O-line.
Yes.
We'll see about Josh Downs. He missed practice yesterday, so it could be kind of the second-team skill players, frankly, with him. Let's go over to defense. Let me throw a couple names at you. Is DeForest Buckner playing Saturday?
Ooh. That's one where I'm curious. I personally probably want to see it just a little bit. I think that he is healthy. I trust that he would know his body. But, Kevin, do you think there's some risk there to kind of calculate or factor in? There's always risk, but you know what I mean, just coming off the neck injury.
Yeah, he has been a guy that's played in the preseason before,
right?
Even as an established pro.
Exactly.
So I think that's worth pointing out. And I also feel like, you could, you get into a 3rd and long on the opening drive, something like that, boom, you can throw him out there. I think it could be beneficial for him because he has talked so openly about, there's some newness to how he is now playing football. And, does he want to get his feet wet at all and trying some things out? Maybe only 2 or 3 plays, but does that all of a sudden make you feel differently when Baltimore and a big 3rd down comes with Lamar Jackson on September 13th? So and then I'll go to corner. Is Sauce Gardner going to play?
I think he should play. I think Sauce Gardner should play. I think anybody in that secondary who is healthy should be out there. So give me Sauce, give me Cam Bynum. Honestly, give me Cam Taylor-Britt since he'll be suspended for week 1. Put him out there, let him get some run in. And so, the only one I'm kind of iffy on is probably Travarius Ward coming off the back injury. How does he look this week? How does he feel? And is it worth putting him out there for the preseason finale when he may not be 100%?
We'll give away a spot in our fantasy football league here coming up later today. I know Shane Steichen didn't say this yesterday. He mentioned, and I think you just said it, James, like the reason why Anthony Richardson is the starter and Riley Leonard is then going with the second team is because of the rotation. And yesterday we saw it at practice. Who got the more second-team reps? Riley.
Yeah.
So that, I assume, means Anthony will then get more of the second-team reps today. Riley will then get more on Thursday. Therefore, if you continue to do the rotation, it would be Anthony on Saturday in the game. But I would argue Anthony has also earned the right to be with the starters. Like, if you're just comparing Anthony Richardson to Riley Leonard through 2 preseason games, Anthony's been better. So, for me, again, I know Shane didn't want to say, hey, this is just the rotation. That's all it is. Let's not overread anything into it. If you're going off of merit, to me, Anthony Richardson has earned the right to be the starter on Saturday. Just comparing those two in the month of August here in 2026.
I would agree there for sure, but as we know, it isn't always viewed in that sort of lens. They kind of take in all of the factors over the summer, and so I still, right now today, would sit here and probably give a slight edge to Anthony. I would not have said that perhaps 3 weeks ago, but I think these games have kind of just reinforced what he can do with his legs and how he can improvise. And even with Riley, I think that they have similar skill sets, so in my mind, I'd probably go with the guy who has a bit more upside to make explosive plays. That's not to say that Anthony has, proven himself as a 100% reliable backup or this like borderline starter. I think that he struggled, but I also see, again, just a little bit more opportunity there if Daniel Jones misses time for your offense to kind of stay afloat, Anthony to get you a couple wins, and then hopefully get Daniel back in the lineup if Daniel has to miss time this season, which history would suggest that he will, just because he's only played one full season in his first 7 years.
We did see a good amount of run for Keenan Allen in practice yesterday. We'll offer our reaction to that here. Again, when we say here, we are actually off-site on this Wednesday morning. Live in Noblesville, we are at the Kroger off of Logan Street, and we're raising money here, the American Red Cross. And for those that have asked, yes, proceeds will be specifically for those in central Indiana that are in need. So I think this is a great initiative to help our neighbors that have unfortunately had just a brutal month of August and, possibly impacting them well beyond that from the historic flooding that we have had. So a couple of ways you can help us out. Stop by, certainly. We'll be out here all day long. You can see our fellow stations in the background here at Radio 1. Jake will be out here as well. John will round the day out here.
Oh, yes.
And you can stop by and just make a purchase inside and do the roundup method. At the checkout, you can give a donation. Otherwise, if you would like to do that, and then if you can't make it out to this Kroger location or any Kroger location today, you can also help out by texting GIVE to our 317-239-1070 text line. You do that, you'll be sent a donation link, and you can help out our neighbors. So shout out to the great town of Noblesville. Shout out Tom Coverdale, P1 listener, David Badaya, Forest Park, the 9th hole, the greatest sledding hill in the history of Indiana. What's your name? Hi, Nicole.
Okay,
Nicole, love this.
showing
She's a
us some
teacher.
love.
Nicole, thank you for doing the greatest job in the world.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Nicole, what do you teach?
I teach a lot of things. I work at the alternative
Okay.
high school.
Okay,
Nice.
awesome.
So we do a lot of sports writing.
Yeah.
This is right in my wheelhouse.
Let's go.
Very cool.
Let's
Nicole
go.
teaching some sports writing at the
Yeah.
alternative school here in Noblesville. Love it. Well, thank you for stopping by, and
I
thank you for
appreciate
being
it.
a teacher.
Well, thank you guys for being here.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah.
I definitely do try to
Well,
get the lunch out.
I think Jake's change of time has been tough on his sleep schedule. Hey, Nicole, if you like a donut here, stop by.
High protein yogurt.
Ah,
Oh.
look at that. Some high-protein
Yeah.
yogurt.
She's
Not on the-
disciplined, unlike you and
not
me.
not on the diet of any sports radio host here. Yeah.
You guys got good ones.
Don't think Mark Dykton back in studio is eating the high-protein yogurt
no,
here.
Mark
Not a
might not have
chance.
pants on back in the studio, so thank
Nicole,
you.
have a great day. Thank you so much for that. High-protein yogurt when you shop at Kroger, Mark, that's right in your first, wheelhouse, isn't it?
I was debating whether to eat like a breakfast sandwich with a little bacon or double bacon today, and I was like, should I do either? That was my debate.
You know my thoughts when it comes to bacon.
The more the
No
merrier.
limp bacon. No.
Thank you,
no
James.
limp bacon.
Come on, Mark.
Come
that
on
was
now.
sitting on a platter for you.
Oh,
I figured
this
it was
guy.
crispy.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Whiffing, look, this is him whiffing on T-ball.
Jeez, look like James teeing off on the first hole.
Hey, relax. I'm working on the swing. Maybe.
Sean McVay, quote of the year yesterday.
Yes, I do think that is the quote of the year. And this is in reference to
In reference to the professional athletes that we have seen attempt to go back, and some have been successful in this manner, tried to go back to their college days and play college sports. A very simple quote from Sean McVay yesterday. And honestly, some of these NFL coaches have been great. I know, Mark, you played the Todd Monken audio a little bit earlier in the week because he had the tight end, Daquan Wright, that was trying to go back to LSU. And again, more on that here in just a second. But Sean McVay, in regards to professional players trying to go back to the college game, I feel like I took a freaking gummy.
And I don't think he's talking about the regular gummy bears that you give out on Halloween or something like that.
Yeah,
This
nothing
ain't
you're going to
Welch's
find here
is
at
what
the
you're
checkout
saying?
at Kroger.
Yeah,
No.
no. Might be a little elevated taking that gummy.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm a big-time edible consumer, but maybe there was a time or two back in the day where one or two crept into my body, and I think that is a beautiful analogy to describe
Yes.
this topic. I mean, like an unbelievable analogy to describe that. Now, good news. Yesterday, we saw the Big Ten and we saw the SEC both independently from each other say that we're not going to stand for this.
Yes.
We're not going to accept this, and there will not be professional athletes that are allowed to come back and play for our conference schools. It sounds like the Big 12 will be following. It sounds like the ACC will soon to follow. And I say this in all seriousness, James, this to me is like a small step in what we need in college sports. Is this the biggest issue right now? Probably not, but it is an issue. And it could have snowballed into something massive.
Yeah.
And so for these member schools, and I saw the vote in the SEC, I believe was unanimous, which now I'm confused by, because does that mean the LSU president or AD is disagreeing with Will Wade and Lane Kiffin?
I'm so confused by all of it, Kevin, because now I'm wondering, okay, does that mean Daquan Wright can't go back to LSU? How does that work?
I believe that is what is happening here, which, again, would disagree with the football coach. So I guess we'll await on that. But, again, this to me is like what we need to start to have happening, similar to the Brendan Sorsby case. Some unification, some
common sense.
Common sense is probably the best way to put it.
Man.
And I saw the SEC added basketball as well, because this applies to the Alabama last year
Okay.
when Charles Bediako, the big man who was kind of the first real name in this, had played in the G League. He went back and played games for Alabama last season, and they were not punished in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
So to add basketball to this is key. I do believe, because I know we debated this yesterday, Stephen Daly, Kellen Wyatt, the two IU players, I think they do not fall under this umbrella, though. I know you were looking up late in the show yesterday, James, that they had declared for the draft.
Yes.
But they both went undrafted, and they were not underclassmen. So I think the umbrella is specific for underclassmen that declared for the draft, and therefore they would apply for this. So Daly and Wyatt's cases are separate. Now, they still need to get an injunction from a state judge is the hope and the prayer there for all of that. But I wanted to make sure that we did clarify that. So they still technically aren't eligible for games right now, but that process is separate from what we saw the Big Ten and the SEC agree upon yesterday.
Nothing is ever settled, though, Kevin. What do you mean this has been resolved? What do you mean they voted on this? I'm just going to find a judge to sue the SEC or sue the Big Ten. Why not?
Mark, you like the Sean McVay quote?
I love it.
So you know he did.
I wish we had
All
the
right,
actual
since we're
audio
talking
of it
about-
because that was great.
Since we're talking about going back to school, what's one thing you miss from college?
Oh,
One thing
boy.
you miss or one thing you don't miss besides the school part, because I don't miss the school part.
Now all I'm thinking about is gummies. What do I miss? I would just say no responsibility. Just like
Yeah, I feel that.
whatever the hell I want to do,
Yeah.
especially in that sophomore, junior year area. I think a little deeper into college.
Got a little lax.
Yeah, I did start thinking about, maybe what the next part of my life should look like. But, man, when you're in that sophomore, junior year bliss.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to take a nap in the middle of the day for 4 hours, you go right ahead and you do it.
Yeah. So this is very specific.
That's heaven.
But if you know me, I always tell the high school kids when they go to college, the first 2 or 3 weeks you're back on campus, whether you're a freshman or a senior or whatever, like all the classes, are the most fun to me because you have no responsibilities. There's no real tests. There's no real assignments yet. You're still, in some of these classes, going through like the first week of the syllabus, and everybody's just out and about. I probably hit up every single party I could throughout that first 2 or 3 weeks of being back on campus, and boy, had some great times.
Oh, welcome week is dangerous. Yeah, welcome week, syllabus week is dangerous. I'd also say the first great weather day in March.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
When you've had the winter and you get to like that March high of 68 type of day, and you're like, let's frickin' go. Classes become very optional, I think, around the lunchtime, early afternoon hour. And, yeah, that's probably where I would go.
Okay.
On that front. Gosh, now you got me super nostalgic.
I was
going to
say a little memory lane for you.
I had some Noblesville folk that certainly I remember from my college days. That's where we are right now, the Kroger off of Logan Street. We've had a variety of people. Shout out to Carlton, dropped off some donuts in the opening segment. Listener Spencer, listener Mark, we've enjoyed interacting with some Nicole off the teacher here on this Wednesday morning. So if you can, certainly stop by. Say hey, but most importantly, we're raising money for the American Red Cross. You can donate via shopping. You can go inside. A little roundup method when you're checking out. If you can't make it out here, text GIVE to our text line. That's 317-239-1070. For those unfamiliar, this store specifically was closed for several days due to the historic flooding that we unfortunately have had here. And just this general area of Hamilton County. You know, you go down to Conner Prairie, a little bit south of here. Really, really impacted from all of that. So thank you to everybody out there that have helped out.
Yeah, the photos that Spencer showed us, boy, he was showing us his apartment complex and how the water had gotten up almost to the second floor of that building. So it's kind of hard to believe that we're sitting right where the floodwaters used to be, Kevin. So to your point, text GIVE to 317-239-1070. And also, Kroger will boost their impact. They will match customer contributions up to a total of $10,000. So they're doing their part as well. So we will continue to do ours.
I love that. Mark Dykton, James Boyd is about to run inside, and you know where he's heading.
Do tell. The bathroom?
You do know where I'm heading.
No.
This is true.
He's going to the frozen section. He's opening up the old Tyson fridge back there. He's looking at his dino nuggets, and he's saying, Mr. Ankylosaurus, you're coming home with me.
Hey, if we had an air fryer out here, you better believe I'd be cooking on my dino
Wednesday night
nuggets.
meal.
Yeah.
A little Triceratops, a Velociraptor to dip in ketchup, and you better believe the Ankylosaurus will be the dessert for James Boyd tonight.
Yeah. I was a little bougie last night, though.
Oh, tell us more.
I had a dinner at Livery.
Oh, Livery.
For the Athletic, yeah. So
it's a great spot right off Mass Ave.
Yeah, we had one of our chief of staff in town, and so it was a dinner that she wanted to meet in person. Me, Candace Buckner, and Zach Kiefer, since we're all on the same staff now. And so first time there, and the food was amazing. So last night, after I got back from playing with JMV, I did not eat dino nuggets, although I do still love them. I had an leftover empanada or something like that. So
Look
it was pretty
at that.
good.
A little black card action on a Tuesday night.
Oh, trust me, I didn't put my card down.
Yeah.
They said it was on the company, and I started looking at the menu a little different.
I was going to ask, do you always feel like guilty? Like if you're like, you know what, if the company's paying for it, you know, maybe I'll be a little more conservative with the menu order just to say like, hey, I don't need to have the fanciest meal on here. Or are you like, no, you know what, they're paying, I'm going all out?
Mark,
I mean, that's one of the dumber questions
you've
ever
brother,
asked.
I'm just asking.
I do hear you. Yeah, there's like, I usually do what everyone else is doing at the table, if that makes sense. So if I'm with like one of the big wigs at the New York Times and they're ordering the Wagyu steak, I'm doing the same thing. Now, if we're there and they're not doing that, I probably don't want to be the guy at the table that's the only one who went a little
black
over
card
the price
ain't there to collect dust. It's there to be used. All right?
Well, I'm trying to make sure that it is in my last meal with the Athletic.
Well,
I know. Kevin's just like, your finest bottle, please. I'll take one home.
Uh-huh.
Come on, honestly, I'm set with some nacho cheese Doritos. Being at the store right now, James, all I can think about is my favorite show growing up, and that's Supermarket Sweep. Did you ever watch that?
This is where you might be out-aging me a little bit. I do not know this show.
Man, Mark, come on.
I wanted to lie so bad and tell you that I did, but I don't.
No, Supermarket Sweep, I was always yelling at the people that
were... Oh, wait, hold on. This is when you run down the aisle?
Yes.
And yes, I do remember this. Okay, my bad. I didn't remember the name of it.
And it'd be all about the turkeys. All about the turkeys. I mean, that was the thing, is how many turkeys you could fit. And I'm just looking at that shopping cart over there, and I'm thinking, I feel like you and I could be a dangerous duo in Supermarket Sweep.
We could get it done. Boy, I swear.
My knowledge of the grocery store and your sheer speed, which you showed, thanks to T.Y. Hilton, up there at the Droplight Grand Park campus, I think if somehow they had Supermarket Sweep in modern day, which I don't know, maybe they still do, and people need to alert me of this, I think we could be a hell of a duo.
We're losing recipes because the kids need to watch this show. Rosie needs to see this show because I swore when I was her age, I had better strategy than the adults. I would be yelling at the TV like, what do you mean you're going down the wrong aisle? What are we doing?
I mean, just how dumb some people were in those moments. I get it's fight or flight, but I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Man, I love it.
It's that show, and then Family Feud is still one of the ones. I would love to do a Family Feud show.
Mark, do you think Supermarket Sweep is still around?
I thought they did a reboot
way.
not too long ago, but I don't think it ever got picked up again. But I think Leslie Jones was like the host or something, and it was on ABC
wow.
for like a season and a half or two. Because we definitely watched
That would get. I'd start stretching in the parking lot right now if you told me at 8:30 today, James and I were in a Supermarket Sweep competition.
Hey, well, we're asking you to come Supermarket Sweep at your local Kroger here to help out Central Indiana. We have partnered with Red Cross here at Radio 1, American Red Cross, that is, and just making sure we can donate money to the victims of the flooding here in Central Indiana. We know a few weeks ago this store, Kevin, as you've pointed out, was underwater. I mean, just the images, the pictures, we saw all of it, and so we're banding together to make sure that our Hoosiers can be taken care of. So if you're listening, text GIVE to 239-1070. That's 317-239-1070, and you'll be able to get a link that'll bounce back to you to donate to the cause.
Supermarket
Brian
Sweep was
here.
rebooted in 2020 and ran till 2022. So there you go.
So is this on a streaming service? Is this on DAZN? Am I getting this with my Pacers package this year? If DAZN has this, I will pay the full price. I don't even need the early bird special.
I don't know, but yeah, you might be able to find it on like YouTube or something like that, but it had a 2-year run when they rebooted it.
You imagine you get a squeaky wheel at the cart, you're down there at the WV-40 trying to all of a sudden get that squeaky noise out. I can't be having that when I'm going up aisle 9, scrambling to find all the turkeys to get in my shopping cart. Stephen Holder, he joins us next here. As James said, live in Noblesville, raising money with the American Red Cross. This is the Fan Morning Show on a beautiful Wednesday morning.
Scramble out of bed and I stumble to the kitchen. Pour myself a cup of ambition and yawn and stretch and try to come to life. Jump in the shower and the blood starts pumping. Out on the streets the traffic starts jumping. With folks like me on the job from 9 to 5. Working.
This is the Fan Morning Show with Kevin Bowen and James Boyd.
Well, rest in peace to a legend, Mark Dykton, dialing him up on this Wednesday morning for Dolly Parton. Thank you, Mark, for that. I am still in supermarket sweep mode, boys. Live here, Kroger, Logan Street in Noblesville, raising money with the American Red Cross for our neighbors in need with the historic flooding that, frankly, hit this area super, super hard. So, again, if you're coming out to a local Kroger today, you can round up at the old checkout. And also, if you can't make it out, just text GIVE to our text line, 317-239-1070. You can give there. And I've said this as we are in the parking lot. All I can think about is supermarket sweep. Listener Brad reached out on the text line and said, supermarket sweep? Yes. Get away from the cereal, Linda. Just yelling at these people. Can you imagine going down the cereal aisle in supermarket sweep? I can't think of a worse idea.
So did they just not know strategy going into it?
Again, I just think it's a little fight or flight. All of a sudden, you get in those moments, and knees weak, palms are sweaty.
Okay.
You know? Some people, one shot, one opportunity, they embrace it. Others.
What was that? That's your choke sound? Oh, boy.
That's my choke sound.
All right, that's your Reggie Miller.
Someone that never chokes and is always ready to embrace one shot.
I don't know.
One opportunity. Let's head to the hotline right now. Stephen Holder from ESPN joins us every Wednesday. Stephen, good morning, sir.
How we doing? You guys gonna get some grocery shopping in when you're done? I don't know.
Well,
did you guys get a discount?
You know what that means for James Boyd, Stephen Holder. He's going right to the old Tyson freezer section, and those Dino Nuggets are wallet, keys, and Dino Nuggets.
Hey, look, me and Dino Nuggets are locked in. I don't care what y'all say. You know what? When you get older, you lose your imagination. I don't want to lose my imagination.
No, you clearly are not. Hey, you do you, man. Hey.
I might even do a little playing action.
I love that. We'll be back at West 56th Street today. The Colts practiced yesterday. They'll practice again today, tomorrow, and then Saturday, the preseason finale. Stephen, let's start here. You think there's more clarity at backup quarterback or kicker right now?
Oh, that's interesting. I think, man, that's tough. I think they're both. I think I know the right answer at both, but I'm not sure whether the Colts agree with me. So I guess, I don't know. It's a little bit of a push, but I do think that the quarterback is trending toward Anthony Richardson. Am I positive about that? No, I'm not. But I think at kicker, I don't think there's any wrong choice at kicker, to be honest with you. I think both those guys are very qualified to be the Colts kicker this year and would have some level of success. I do think it's going to be Schrader now. If you'd asked me a week ago, I probably would have said Groupie, but I think I've come around on that. I think a lot of us have in the past week or two. And Schrader, I think as he has gotten healthier, I think that's playing a role here. You can see him start to become more consistent. We've heard special teams coordinator Brian Mason talk about confidence. I think that is at play here. All those things are a factor, when you're trying to overcome a pretty serious injury, which he had. So I think you're just seeing a guy coming around and getting back to being himself, and that's a really great thing to see.
Again, that is the voice of Stephen Holder, Colts reporter for ESPN. Stephen, going back to the quarterback conversation for the backups, why do you think Anthony Richardson, in your mind, has taken the slight edge over Riley for the QB2 role when, talking to you probably 3 weeks ago, you might have had it reversed?
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't know if the word is they, but I think Shane Steichen, in his mind, wanted Riley Leonard to win that job. And I don't think it's necessarily like is it personal against Anthony or anything like that? I don't think it's that. I just think that Riley is the easier quarterback for Shane to coach. Okay, does that make sense? And the reason I say that is because he's going to execute and run the offense as designed. Anthony may or may not. Okay, let's just be honest, right? Like, is he going to go to all the right reads every single time? Not necessarily. He might just stay on that deep route a little too long and not check it down, right? But those are, I mean, that's just the nature of Anthony Richardson. I think that is what it is. It's baked into the cake. The thing is, though, the more I watch him, it just makes too much sense. If something happens to Daniel Jones, this is going to be my stock answer every show that I do, but it's worth repeating. If something happens to Daniel Jones and you have to play your backup, if I am the defensive coordinator of your opponent, I am having fits trying to prepare for Anthony Richardson. Riley Leonard is standard fare, very standard fare. And I just got to confuse him enough and make him make some mistakes. Anthony Richardson, you're trying to do the same thing. You're trying to make him make mistakes, but then he can get out of the mistake is the thing. And then he can run for 30 yards. So you have a whole other layer that you have to protect against. And if you're Shane Steichen, you can game plan in a whole different manner if you elect to do that, which he should. So those are my thoughts on the quarterback.
Again, that's Stephen Holder, ESPN, where you can find his work. We are live in Noblesville at the Kroger here off of Logan Street, raising money with the American Red Cross for our neighbors in need. We'll tell you more about that here in a few minutes. Stephen, when I look at the return of Alec Pierce, and again, nothing yesterday. Shane Steichen said he's hopeful he'll get his return to practice this week. We now have seen Keenan Allen added. Of course, you have Josh Downs. Of course, you have Tyler Warren. Am I starting to think that maybe Alec Pierce won't be necessarily needed in all of the route tree areas that maybe a typical number one wideout is needed? They have all these guys underneath, do they not? Warren, Downs, isn't that kind of Keenan Allen's game? More of an underneath wideout. Is Pierce still going to be just mostly the home run threat, maybe sprinkling in a little bit more, but not too much more on his plate?
You know, it is interesting because if they wanted to play the style of, or at least spread the ball, I guess, the way they did last year in terms of how they spread it around, which routes and how much, et cetera, they could do the exact same thing. They could literally do the exact same thing they did last year with Michael Pittman because they have the exact same lineup. Let's be honest. And I would also argue that Keenan Allen is probably a hair better than Michael Pittman, even, at least based on last year in terms of production. I mean, neither one of them is going to run after the catch, let's be honest, right? But in terms of toughness at the catch point and all that, you don't lose any of that with Keenan Allen versus Michael Pittman. So they have effectively the exact same setup that they had last year. So I don't know if it's going to go that way, but they could do that. They could absolutely play the exact way they played last year. And I think it's going to evolve is what I think. I don't know that they know how it's going to look, especially because Alec hasn't been in training camp, and that's part of the problem. So as you are evolving this offense and sort of figuring it out in terms of how the ball's going to get distributed, I think that's going to have to develop probably into the first few weeks of the season. It should have happened already, but, you know, Pierce has been gone and Keenan Allen just got here, so this is where we are. I don't think that's a bad thing. I mean, I do think that Shane Steichen on a week-to-week basis he can diversify his attack anyway, so I don't think it's a bad thing. But I do think what you laid out could happen, especially early on, right? I mean, is Alec Pierce going to be ready to roll and do everything that we thought it was going to be on his plate this year when he's making $1 gazillion? We assumed he would have a bigger role. That may or may not be the case. We will see.
Again, that is the voice of Stephen Holder, Colts reporter for ESPN. Stephen, going to the defensive side of the ball, we did hear from C.J. Allen yesterday, the Colts' second-round pick this year, and he was asked to kind of assess his performance from his preseason game. he didn't really offer any specifics, but what is your assessment of what he did in his NFL preseason debut and what it could mean or not mean for that Colts linebacker unit, specifically the two starters?
I mean, I'd say decent. He looks like a rookie in many cases, which is what you should expect from a rookie who has barely been in training camp. So I think this is much more of a work in progress than the Colts anticipated, but it's because he hasn't been out there as much as he would have liked. So that's just where they are. They are definitely adapting to this on the fly. You can tell. I mean, you've heard the kinds of things that Lou Anarumo, the defensive coordinator, is saying, and he's talking about his linebackers in a very obvious way, which is basically, we'll just figure it out. I mean, yeah. It's basically like catch as catch can. I'm like, man, that's not great, but it's kind of the hand he's dealt right now. I think the good news is that Carlisle has surged the last couple of weeks. I had no expectations for him, but he's playing better. I think they trust Akeem Davis-Gaither. We'll see anything special. I don't know that he gives them anything extraordinary, but certainly he can be in the right spots and know what to do and have those veteran instincts that you would presumably have at his age. So, they have enough to make it work, but it's an underwhelming position right now, man. And the rookies that to really be impactful, it's just not going to be right now. I think it's going to take a little while.
Again, ESPN, we can find the work of Stephen Holder, and he will be out at Colts practice later today. It's practice 2 of the week. They'll have 3 of them, and then it is the preseason finale coming up on Saturday with roster cuts to follow on Sunday. Stephen, as always, thank you for the time, man. We'll see you here in a bit.
Okay, you got it, guys.
That's Stephen Holder right there at ESPN. Apologies for a little bit of a connection issue on that front. I guess we should note, James, what did we see in the kicker battle yesterday? Seemingly what we see every day at practice.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. So, if I'm not mistaken, Spencer Schrader did miss 1 kick, and Blake Grupe was perfect. So, that typically has been the case when we've seen things kind of go down.
And where did Spencer Schrader miss his 1 kick?
To the left, to the left. Everything you own in a box to the left.
Oh, that was beautiful by you. That was great.
Hey, Brittany, if you got Brittany in the back, she hating on me.
Man.
Hey, my vocals really ain't massaged too much this morning. So if I broke your ears, I'm sorry.
Odd 100.9 is going to be calling James Boyd later today.
Yeah.
How about that?
Put me on, Brittany.
That was wonderful. Daniel Jones had him unofficially 11 of 16. He probably hit his final 7 or 8 passes yesterday. James, I note that because no Tyler Warren right groin, still no Alec Pierce ankle heel. Josh Downs was not practicing. He was out there, but undisclosed injury there. So without his top 3 pass catchers, he still had, I would say, a relatively productive day. And we saw Keenan Allen get his first run. What did you witness from number 10, Keenan Allen?
I still kind of laugh at the comment he made last week about not having a step or not losing a step because he never had one. And so you saw that in practice because he's not this burner. He's not super speedy. I just think he's crafty, he's smart, and he reads space really well. So had a couple of nice catches there, and they don't call him Third and Keenan for nothing. And I do think as he and Daniel Jones get more acclimated together, that chemistry will only build, Kevin. So what was your reaction to seeing number 10 for now out there? I say for now because that 10 could change here if the roster cut down goes how I think it will.
Yeah, so I believe Jones and him hooked up on 3 of their 4 targets. The first one, Sauce Gardner just ate up per usual, which is kind of what Sauce does. But, I asked Steven that question about Warren, Downs, now Keenan Allen. To me, they're similar in their route tree, if you will. It's a lot of underneath kind of base stuff. And if you watched Allen's 3 catches yesterday, it was kind of a la Michael Pittman last year. It was kind of a la Tyler Warren a little bit. It was kind of tight end like almost, and how he made those catches. So that's why I'm kind of curious of Is that going to be more of his role? One thing to note from yesterday, and I'm really curious about this guy's roster status. Elliot in the text line asked, how many draft picks will make this team?
Ooh, good question.
James, I think you and I are in agreement. Everyone is a lock but Deion Burks. Right? George Gums, 5th-round pick, lock.
Yeah, Caden Curry,
Curry, lock.
Yeah.
And then, which, again, when I say lock, I guess I really better be confident. I feel pretty good, I should say, about Gums and Curry. I know you can kind of finagle some numbers when you get to the back end, but I feel pretty good about those two. Seth McGowan, undoubtedly a lock as a 7th-round pick, that running back. Deion Burks is the one I have in question. And yesterday we saw again Burks get his hand on a pass and it go through his hands for an interception. Riley Leonard was throwing the ball in this case. I think Anthony had one back in Westfield where that happened. So they tried Ashton Doolin at punt returner a little bit yesterday. That looked okay. It looked fine to me. Ashton Doolin looked pretty natural, like he does pretty much doing everything.
I was going to say, you expect that from him?
Can you imagine our supermarket sweep team if it was you, me, and then Ashton Doolin?
Oh,
stop the fight.
We're winning.
Stop
We're winning.
the fight.
I feel like that would be like, building a dynasty.
Okay, we need frozen turkeys. We need the laundry detergent, the big kind. We need some of the pricey meat, some of the meat that you were eating last night at Livery. We need some of that in our shopping cart. Mark, what else do we need? Supermarket sweep. What else do we need? What are our best items?
Man, you hit a lot of them right there. I'm trying to think. Did they do medicines? I don't remember. I think of the new one they had you can get like over-the-counter medicines and stuff too, so you can add those.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh boy, that sounds dangerous.
Hold on now. See, Mark, leave it to Mark. He want to go get drugs.
Yeah, come on now.
Come on,
Mark.
man.
No. The pharmacy's got cones up. The pharmacy's got cones up. You're not. I
need some of those blue pills, please. I'm at supermarket sweep.
Well, yeah.
Add it to my cart.
So I'm looking here.
That could all of a sudden really hinder how your shopping cart operates.
Yeah, I'm on a Reddit thread right now, and it's saying that we need to grab the turkeys, the hams, and large roasts early in our supermarket sweep strategy.
The next time Nellie Bowen is up at night and I can't fall back to sleep, the Reddit supermarket sweep thread has got to be a must.
Can you
send me that link?
I do. I will send it to you.
Oh, my gosh. That sounds beautiful. To get back to where we were, I kind of forget where we were. But Deion Burks making this team, again, he's not really a punt returner.
Right.
But if Ashton Doolin is now your punt returner, that theoretically opens up the 6 wide receiver spot if we're going to nerd out about roster cuts for a second. Then can your final wideout be more of I'm going to use the term project just because that's what's popping in my head. Because Burks, I think, is a little bit of that. So, again, just some things to think about, and we'll continue to hit on this throughout our show. We are live in Noblesville, Indiana. Shout out Tom Coverdale. Shout out Forest Park, the greatest sledding hill in the history of sledding hills, the 9th hole at Forest Park. Might have chipped in there one time in the Hamilton County tournament, which was really, really big for me there. But that's neither here nor there. Great high dive at Forest Park as well. A shout out to David Bodaya. What else do we got here? We're raising money.
I'll say the Mill.
Shout out to the Mill, of course. Thank you for that. The American Red Cross, they have been unbelievable partners over the last, they're always unbelievable partners, but certainly over the last week or so with the historic flooding we have had here in central Indiana. So if you can make it out to this location, certainly do, Logan Street, Noblesville, come out and say hi. But if you can make it out to any Kroger today, shop there. You can round up at the checkout, donate money there. All proceeds stay right here in central Indiana to benefit those in need. And if you can't make it to any Kroger today, text GIVE to our text line, 317-239-1070. That is GIVE to our text line, and that will give you a kickback link to donations. Mark, let's check it out.
The Morning Checkdown, brought to you by Suave Men Refreshing Face and Body Wash on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
James, let's start with the Fever. Quiet week for them as they wrapped up a 3-2 road trip. They're going to play Friday against a Connecticut Sun team that's not very good at basketball. But we talked about this a little bit earlier in the show. We now know the 8 playoff teams.
Oh, yeah.
And we still have 5 games left in the regular season. But we know the 8. The standings for the WNBA is very top-heavy this year. We know the 8, but oh boy, is it jumbled. And the Fever are going to learn a whole lot about their playoff positioning here over these final 5 games.
Yeah, so they're in the 5th seed right now. The top 4 seeds get home court advantage in the first round of the playoffs. And for the Fever, as you noted earlier throughout the show, Kevin, they have, I think, a favorable schedule to end the regular season. They got Connecticut coming up on Friday. Connecticut has the second worst record in the league. They should be able to knock them off, and then they're rounding out the rest of their regular season slate with games against Toronto, Washington, and 2 games against Minnesota. Toronto's terrible. Washington is in the playoff mix, and then Minnesota, even though they're the number 1 seed right now, they might rest some players there if they get the number 1 seed locked up early enough. So, again, a favorable schedule for the Fever, but keep in mind the regular season technically will not end until September 24th for them because they have that 2-week FIBA break coming up here soon.
I'm appalled that we did not think of an item for Supermarket Sweep. I am appalled, and I'm appalled at both of you.
Whoa, hold on. Okay.
James Boyd, you have I know, but I'm going to blame you because I'm not a good teammate. James Boyd, you have brought this up before.
Okay.
You've referenced this item specifically, the specific brand you've done numerous times on the show. Mark Dykton, you've made this purchase, I'd argue, 20 or 30 times in your life.
Well, he's
Probably
talking
more.
about buying drugs, so I think I'm...
Not diapers.
Similac. Let's go.
Similac.
The one thing that James knows about babies.
Every time James says that, I'm like, does he have 5 kids I just don't know about? Similac. I say it to Maddie Bowen every time I come home with a jar of Similac. This bleep is so expensive.
Yeah.
Similac might be before we go get the frozen turkeys.
Right. Hey, all I'm saying is I know a few things about babies. Namely, Similac, and don't bring them around me until they're potty trained.
Of course, then I'm thinking to myself, do I do it by the Kroger brand, or am I stunting my children's growth? Oh boy, all these items that are popping in my head. What else we got here? Major League Baseball, Mark, your Cubs lost.
3 walk-offs in 5 games on the wrong side of all 3 of them. I hate it right now.
Cardinals got blitzed by the Orioles. White Sox over the Rangers. Reds just horrific at baseball. I saw the big dumper went yard again, 4 in a row. They said he's the first Mariner to do that since Mike Cameron. I'm like, I loved Mike Cameron. What a beautiful swing Mike Cameron had. Back in the day, what else we got here? IndyCar rating. Did you guys see that from DC? That thing was a huge rating, 3.2 million. For the Freedom 250, it was the most watched non-Indy 500 race since 2008. So a ton of eyeballs. And one thing that I thought was really interesting, their peak viewership was about an hour into the race. So I thought that was really strong because I thought the pre-race was really well done. We'll continue to talk some football. Kevin Lynch, the Butler head coach, upcoming here in a bit. All right, on the
Wait,
side,
I'm halfway home on my over-under for garbage use. We've had 5 people use that garbage. I'm almost there.
Okay, respect.
Really?
I just haven't seen it.
I'm happening. It's going to happen.
Right now, they are presenting one of those giant checks. It's one of those Happy Gilmore checks.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to hold one of those.
I want to do one, but it'd only be for $1. I want to troll with it.
I saw a comma on that check.
Yeah, see, that's why the check ain't got my name on it.
That's why they're not saying James Boyd, Kevin Bowen, come on over and hold us.
I'm rounding up, though.
Kevin wants to use the big
money
check for a shade right now because he's getting blasted by the sun.
Yeah.
Well, I am, and you know what? I was thinking about this mid-segment. I don't know how I'm going to stop that. The sun is here, right?
Yeah,
Should I go get some sunscreen inside?
Yes, you should. I don't want you to get sunburned.
Mark, I'm going to pee. I'm going to do my ad read. I'm going to pee, and I'm going to go get sunscreen and round up at the checkout.
No, I can't wait to see what order that's all in.
I'll be back.
What?
Galaxy Concrete Coatings, indoor and outdoor concrete. I'm looking here at the lovely Kroger up in Noblesville. If they have any concrete questions, I'm happy to help them out. Galaxy Concrete Coatings would be where I would point them in the right direction. That is indoor and it is outdoor concrete. Again, garages, basements, patios, porches, and sidewalks. Online you head there, galaxyconcretecoatings.com. Good place to start because I think aesthetically you're going to be curious about the look of the concrete. But again, manufacturers upgrade the warranty from 15 years to lifetime, so you got to love that. And also, very efficient process. Tyler and Preston at our house, that was a new sidewalk, new front porch, and it was in and out in about 24 hours. Again, that is Galaxy Concrete Coatings. It's indoor and outdoor concrete, garages, basements, patios, porches, and sidewalks. Contact them today, galaxyconcretecoatings.com.
And your little finger, here you come again. Just when I'm about to make it work without you.
This is the Fan Morning Show with Kevin Bowen and James Boyd.
And pretty soon I'm wondering.
Again, we're back here on 107.5 The Fan. Thank you for listening to the Fan Morning Show. We're out here in Noblesville, Indiana. Reason being, we are raising money for American Red Cross to help with the flood relief. Oh, Kevin is back. And might I just add, this man has clowned my 40 times so much. Oh, James, you ran it so slow. Oh, James, you didn't really get, down to business. This dude ran so slow up into the store.
Oh, stop that.
That's why he late coming back from the break.
Stop that.
40 time had to be about 8.7.
It's like that.
I mean, my goodness.
It's like when old men try to run faster and they do that little jog.
Hey,
That's probably what Kevin was doing.
This man really went and bought some
James
Dino
Boyd
Nuggets.
just literally tried to take a you-know-what on me and ripping me for my running. And guess what I just bought him, Mark?
Looks like a nice big bag of Tyson Nuggets right there.
And I'm like, okay, and how are you going to keep this cool, brother?
Well, we got a fridge at the Colts complex.
Yeah, but okay, all right.
Throw that thing in there. Come on now.
This man is nuts. This man is nuts.
Don't say I never bought anything.
Before you go there,
This is true. Oh, okay, right. That's what I'm saying. We got, brother, you should have bought this at 9:33, not 8:33.
Hey, and I hit the
Man,
yellow.
he about to give me, what's the thing? He about to give me salmonella poisoning or something.
And I hit the yellow roundup, and look at that.
Yeah.
Very nice inside. So we are set now. I've got sunscreen. You've got some Dino
This
Nuggets.
man just placed a bag of frozen Dino Nuggets behind my chair. It's going to be smelling in about 45 minutes.
And most importantly, we're raising money for the American Red Cross.
Yes, while you have your mic pushed up, I'll repeat that. We're raising money for American Red Cross. You can donate if you would like to. You can by texting GIVE to 317-239-1070. Again, that's 317-239-1070. Give a little, give a lot, give something to help out our Hoosiers who were affected greatly by these floods here a few weeks ago.
How about that? In and out. Yellow. There's gonna be a little yellow sign when you check out. You hit the roundup. Boom. I hit it, and now here I am. I can't believe you just disparaged me.
No. It's just the
Hey,
timing,
come on.
the strategy of when you did this.
You want me to go back in there and buy a bag of ice?
No. I want you to
Jeez.
Can you tell them, hey, can we put this right back in the fridge? I did pay for it, and then come get it later.
They're freaking Dino Nuggets. You think you're eating the most well-cooked items to?
I am.
You should go get some
There's a reason why I ran my
Pepto-Bismol for James
5-1.
for later.
Right? Yeah, he's trying to jack me up.
Unbelievable. We'll talk some Butler football. Kevin Lynch going to join us here at the top of the hour. Good news on the Mooney Ward front, James. He was back to practice yesterday. He had missed about 3 weeks of work, but good to see him back out there because I think first off, for himself, I think it's great that he is back out there. But for the Colts football team in 2026, I'd argue he's a very important piece.
Yes, especially after seeing some of the depth or lack of depth that they have at the cornerback spot. I don't feel great about the guys behind the guys, if that makes sense, Kevin, because I thought Mekhi Blackman really struggled throughout the preseason. I thought Jonathan Edwards struggled throughout the preseason so far. And so it just kind of reinforces how big of a deal it is to have a healthy Charvarius Ward opposite of Sauce Gardner. And then, as we know, Justin Wally's holding down the slot, and he's been playing well too. So you need that three-headed trio going into the regular season fully healthy for the Colts to be in the best position to get off to a strong start, especially facing Lamar Jackson in week 1.
One injury item to note as we start to get into roster cuts, and I fully realize there are some Colts fans out there that probably don't care too much about these cuts. Others do. Will Mallory, the tight end, has a thumb injury, James, and Shane Steichen said yesterday that could impact week 1 for him. So, we have debated Will Mallory in the 53-man roster and what does that look like. And now, assuming he was going to make the team, now the question becomes, can you carry a potentially injured Will Mallory for a couple of weeks into the season? Because remember, if you place a guy on injured reserve, they have to miss at least 4 games. The good news, I think, with all of this right now for the 2026 Colts, James, there's really not too many injuries that we debate. I know that the Alec Pierce thing has been a hot-button topic, understandably, but the thought is he's not going to be an IR candidate, a.k.a. you have to miss 4 games.
Yeah, no, I would not think that's the case at all.
This time last year, Justin Wally was literally done for the season.
Yeah.
Hunter Wooler was literally done for the season.
Yeah.
You see like a guy like Jamar Chase go down yesterday in practice. It seems like crisis has been averted there. But again, if a guy is going to miss maybe a month into the season, now that gets into some of these roster gymnastics that teams face. Unless I'm missing a lot of obvious ones, DJ Giddens back to practice, Luke Tenuta, who I think is the third tackle, was back to practice yesterday. The roster gymnastics shouldn't be too immense for the Colts really at all.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too crazy. And I do want to note one more injury thing. We didn't see A.J. Halsey out there yesterday practicing. We saw him physically out there, but I wonder if he's dealing with something. And then Will Mallory, the tight end, the fourth tight end on the roster, he's got a thumb injury that Shane Steichen mentioned could threaten his availability for week 1.
Yeah, it was Hunter Wooler getting the start there yesterday. Saw this note on the Twitter sphere. I think it was thought to be, but for the IU season opener coming up a week from Saturday, reports out of the North Texas camp that it will indeed be Taven Jackson as the starting quarterback. J&V's mentioned you guys have hooped a little bit with Trace Jackson Davis here.
Yeah, had a good time.
Few weeks.
Had a chance to play with him last night. That was pretty fun. And he reminds you every so often that he is an NBA player.
Well, that's probably a good
I mean, he came down the lane one time, Kevin, and I just turned and, yeah, it was like watching a Greek god just fly by you and all you hear is the rim just getting abused. It was pretty bad.
Well, you got to think about Taven Jackson's run there in Bloomington. And, like, he was involved in a lot, even if we didn't know it at the time. Like, he was involved in the Brendan Sorsby battle. Can you imagine?
Oh, yeah.
Had that gone differently, he was Curtis Rourke's backup, right, on the playoff team?
Uh-huh.
And Rourke, didn't he start a game that year? Didn't Rourke miss a game for his thumb or something?
Because he was a trooper that year because Rourke had, the torn ACL or something like that he played through?
Again, we didn't know that at the time. And then Taven leaves and goes to Central Florida, I want to say it was. And now he's at North Texas. So a week from Saturday, Indiana, North Texas, and it'll be
Taven Jackson revenge game
against his former
Shock the
team
world,
there.
baby.
Yeah, that's a little storyline we're going to get there in week 1. Hell, you might make the argument the hardest home game Indiana had all year last year was that Old Dominion game.
Oh, man.
Remember that? The first play of the game, the quarterback goes 70-some yards.
I was going to say the vibes were not great in that moment, and then they went on to win the national championship. But I would just say if I went to Old Dominion and I played in that game, I would have screenshot when we were ahead, and I'd get it framed. I'd let them all know, you know what, we were up on the national champions. They couldn't hang with us for at least one stretch of this game, one stretch of this season.
Thank you, Noah. Tell James those dino nuggets are pre-cooked. Throw a couple in his pocket for 25 minutes, and he's got an early lunch.
Y'all trying to kill me here on the air, man. I like to stay alive throughout this show. I think that's a good thing for our airwaves. Come on, man.
Tell you what, those dino nuggets, they ain't cheap.
No, and you bought the biggest bag. I usually don't get the biggest bag. You know, you're a little greedy.
Well, you're a growing boy.
That is true. And then, Leah, speaking of trying to get a little bigger, when we were playing with Trace Jackson Davis last night, he went up for a layup, and I kind of got out the way because I was like, I'm not trying to, injure you, dude. And he says, yeah, it's not that big of a deal, so I appreciate you getting out the way. But he's like, honestly, if I really wanted to just go dunk it, he was like, you probably would have went flying. And I was like, yeah, you're right. So he kind of gave me a little, don't worry about it.
We got a Twitter question here, a YouTube question, I should say, about Jalen Tuimoloau and if he is a lock to make the football team. We'll share our thoughts on that coming up on the other side, and we'll talk more about the practice we saw yesterday, about a 90-minute session for the Colts, and again, go over the plan for Saturday in the preseason finale, Colts and Lions. A reminder, we are live here in Noblesville at the Kroger location off of Logan Street. A massive thank you to the American Red Cross. They have been front and center throughout, well, first off, any disaster that you have, but certainly here with the historic floods we've had in the month of August. This specific location was actually underwater and closed for a period of time. Because of that, it's back open, and we are raising money again. You can do that via a couple different ways. You can do it. I just did. Popped into the local Kroger, make your purchase. You can hit the little roundup button when you're checking out, and every small bit counts. Or if you can't make it to a Kroger today, just text us, 317-239-1070. You text our show account, GIVE, G-I-V-E. You text GIVE. You'll get a kickback link that will allow you to donate. Good Wednesday morning to you. The sunscreen is on. The Dino Nuggets have been purchased. Kevin Bowen, James Boyd, live here in Noblesville.
Today's Fox 59 Weather Authority forecast from the Armor Air Weather Center. Armor Air, we do what's right on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
We're going to have partly cloudy skies today ahead of widely scattered showers and thunderstorms later this afternoon and evening. A few strong to severe storms are possible. I am Fox 59 meteorologist Amber Hardwick for The Fan.
Life is as peaceful as a baby's sigh. In my Tennessee mountain home.
This is the Fan Morning Show with Kevin Bowen and James Boyd.
Live in beautiful Noblesville, Indiana. That is where we are, the Kroger location off of Logan Street. And this has been a fun show, James. Several listeners have stopped by. Thank you to the American Red Cross for everything they have done. Again, we are raising money here for our neighbors in need. It is Help in the Heartland, Fox 59, CBS 4, Kroger. We're all partnering together to raise money. A couple different ways, James, that people can help. First off, head to your local Kroger. If you're up in the area, come by, say hi to us. You head to the checkout. Just made a purchase a little bit ago. I got sunscreen and Dino Nuggets.
And I can feel those Dino Nuggets already on thawing.
What more do you need than that? You know?
There you go.
That is America. And you head to the checkout. You get a little yellow screen that pops up. You hit that for the roundup. And those donations will go to the American Red Cross. If you cannot make it out to a Kroger today, text our text line, 317-239-1070. You text the word GIVE, and that will send you a link to donate. And many people have already done that today. And we really appreciate people helping our neighbors in need.
Absolutely. And then it's been really cool, like you said, to have people stop by and just share their love of the show, the community. We heard from Karen, who is a big Pacers and Boilers fan, and she was telling us that she recently or lost her husband. And our show and listening to us knuckleheads in the morning and Jake in the late morning to the early afternoon, and then getting into John's show later on, JMV The Ride. She said she listened to all of us to kind of get herself back into life. And so that was really heartfelt, really sweet. And so shout out to Karen for, letting us be a part of her family in a way. So that was really cool.
I love that Pacers shirt she was rocking. She's ready to go, about a month away from training camp. Also a Purdue fan, she mentioned as well. So she, I'm sure, is looking forward to the Boilers season upcoming, and Coach Painter. Also, Carol and her daughter or granddaughter, Gracie. Is that right? Gracie, who was one of Rosie Bowen's favorite people in her kindergarten class. A different Gracie.
I was going to say, she might be her favorite after this.
They brought homemade cinnamon rolls. And Mark Dykton,
boy,
I'll tell you what, if I have one of these, I'm going to have 7.
I'm jealous.
Be jealous.
Look, homemade cinnamon rolls. I mean, I've died and gone to heaven, boys.
We got to start finding ways that I can produce on location, because this is ridiculous.
No. That means we got to start divvying stuff up. Kevin, a little bit more, and I don't want to share that much.
Gosh, yeah, we need to be out and about more often. Kevin Lynch, the Butler head coach, going to join us here. They get started on the gridiron in the Selleck Bowl Saturday afternoon. They're going to host Georgetown out of Kentucky, as it'll be year 2 for Kevin Lynch, of course, the son of one Bill Lynch. And so he's going to join us coming up here at 9 o'clock. On the YouTube chat, Hoosier97 wanted to know, any chance Jalen Tuiamaloau gets the scissors? Does he get cut coming up on Sunday? Throw a little percentage out there.
I would say the percentage is 5%. Not that high, but I don't hate that question, because Jalen Tuiamaloau, who was a second-round pick last year, if he were a 7th-round pick, I think there'd be a real chance that he isn't on the team. Like, he hasn't done enough throughout the preseason. He really didn't do anything last year to make me think that he's going to be a big part of this defense. And the reason why I'm keeping him around, and I think that it's very, very low that he will be let go, is because, again, 2nd-round pick, and they lack depth on the edge regardless. So there probably isn't a whole lot of harm in keeping him around.
Yeah, I wouldn't go much higher than you. I might go maybe up to 10 or 15. It is interesting to note, though, when Jalen Tuiamaloau has played the preseason opener against New England, last week against Atlanta, if you freeze frame him on the field, and you start pointing to other guys in the field, you would cut many of those guys.
Yes.
He's playing with guys you are cutting. He's playing. He played in the second half of the preseason opener. He's played 60-some snaps in the first two preseason games. If you're playing 60-some snaps in the first two preseason games, that's usually not a good thing for your status on the football team. So I think it's a very relevant question. I agree with you on that. I'm a little curious when we get into the regular season, though. Is he a healthy and active?
Right.
Is it George Gumbs Jr. ahead of him? Is it Caden Curry ahead of him? That, to me, is how it should be right now. And this gets into a conversation we had yesterday, James, and why I think Latu is the second most important Colt on this team, the most important Colt on the team not named Daniel Jones. If you map out this offseason and you look at pass rush, you look at defensive end, they made a swing for Trey Hendrickson.
Mm-hmm.
That was like me purchasing Dino Nuggets at 8:30 in the morning. Probably a swing and a miss. They then said all offseason long, Jalen Tuimala, second-year jump, second-year jump, new defensive line coach, all these things. And right now, again, it's August 26th, but right now it doesn't look like there has been that jump. So those were items 1 and 2 on the offseason list without a real lot of 3, 4, 5. I guess Gums and Curry would then fit in there, but again, Gums was pick number 160-something.
Right.
Curry was pick number 200-something. So that's where I just struggle so much, and it has got to be Latu, and you've got to stay healthy at cornerback to help out your pass rush, which is kind of the reverse, I think, of what you want.
Yeah, I think the Jalen Tuimoloau question just really, like you said, expands to the overall pass rush. And one encouraging sign about that pass rush, which doesn't involve the edge, Kevin, is at least DeForest Buckner, from hearing from teammates and looking at him myself, looks like he can still be DeForest Buckner for another year. Now, a lot of that hinges on health, Kevin, but I do think that internally this Colts franchise feels very encouraged by the progress he's made. And to kind of put it in perspective, DeForest Buckner is someone who, just like Travarius Ward, contemplated retirement. I think Travarius Ward, when he said that, it drew more eyes and attention because the 3 concussions were so visible for all of us, and the second one obviously was very scary. We got knocked out on the field and pregame warmups. But for DeForest Buckner, it's not like we really saw a play and said, oh, wow, that's really dangerous, that's really scary. It kind of just was this behind-the-scenes thing for him where we didn't really hear about the severity of it until he came back to the team and until he had decided to continue playing football. So if he can be DeForest Buckner, which is an all-pro caliber player, then that, to me, at least offset some of the pressure you put on the rest of your defensive ends.
Yeah, that is a very good point. Texter here asking about Oregon rookie linebacker Bryce Betcher, the 4th-round pick, and he is definitely going to make this football team, and he, I would say, is knocking on the door for playing time. So Bryce Betcher definitely making the football team, knocking on the door for playing time. Did we just get an on-site donation
On-site from Rex, $20 bill.
How about that,
I appreciate
Rex?
that. I'll make sure
you.
this gets to the right place.
The American Red Cross will be receiving that, not any sort of contributions to the Dino Nuggets Fund of one.
No.
James Boyd. And thank you to listener John. He just sent us a screenshot of his donation here on the old text line. We'll give away a spot in our Fantasy Football League upcoming here in the 9 o'clock hour. Plenty more to share. Again, we are live here in Noblesville, the Kroger location off of Logan Street. And yes, we're helping our neighbors in need. This location, this area in general, hit very hard by the flooding we've had in the month of August. So we'll continue to share the ways you can help our neighbors out. Live, it is the Fan Morning Show, 93.5, 107.5, The Fan.
It's the Fan Morning Show with Kevin Bowen and James Boyd.
Although we had no money.
All 9 o'clock hour from Noblesville, Indiana. We're live here outside the Kroger off of Logan Street. Thank you to the American Red Cross. They have been just incredible in helping our neighbors out. We'll explain how you can do that. Text give to our text line, 317-239-1070. We just had some awesome, super generous donations here on this Wednesday morning. We'll be out here all day long. It is a beautiful day today. I think it'll be a beautiful Saturday afternoon over there off of 49th Street, the Selleck Bowl. It'll be the Butler Bulldogs taking on Georgetown from Kentucky to get their season started. And James Boyd, before we welcome in Kevin Lynch in his second year at Butler, impersonations. You do a beautiful Quinn Buckner. Can you give us a smothered chicken?
Smothered chicken.
I mean, just.
I need some more of that smothered chicken.
Now, voice of the Colts, Matt Taylor, he does an incredible Don Fisher, does he not?
Yes, he does.
Well, a little birdie told me back in the day, the Franklin Grizzlies of Matt Taylor and Kevin Lynch. Now, Kevin Lynch, the son of course, one Bill
Where
Lynch.
are you going with this?
Bill Lynch would have his radio show hosted by Don Fisher. And so Kevin Lynch, college Kevin Lynch, would tell college Matt Taylor, you need to call into my dad's radio show. We need Don Fisher to call in as the impersonator and talk with Don Fisher, the legend. Now, we talked about college memories earlier.
Yes.
That would be a core college memory,
Absolutely.
would it not?
Absolutely.
So, Kevin Lynch, can you vouch for this? Is this true? Was Matt Taylor dialing up a Don Fisher impression to chat with your dad and, of course, Don?
First of all, he did do that. I did not tell him to do that. But what I will tell you is he was phenomenal at a lot of what he could do a back-to-back game between IU and Purdue with Joe McConnell and Don Fisher at the same time. It was unbelievable. I don't know if you knew that too. So, but not surprised how successful Matt's been. He was pretty good. I knew he was going to be really good back then.
Yeah, he is a talented individual. I know you got some talented Bulldogs that are going to hit the field on Saturday. Let's start here, Coach. New defensive coordinator coming in this year, Jared Heck. How will you guys look differently on defense this year based off where you're at in year one?
Yeah, we'll be a little bit differently than what we did schematically, but overall pretty much the same. I think any time now in college football, it's so different in terms of you're going to be very multiple in what you do. Defenses are not what they were probably 10 years ago in terms of you could kind of watch a tape and this is how they're going to line up and play. So really like Jared from that standpoint can do some things differently coverage wise and certainly has a really good third down package that makes it hard on offenses. But knowing Jared for a long time, we worked together at Ball State in 2018. So haven't been around him in a little while, but it's great to reconnect with him.
Again, that's the voice of Kevin Lynch, the Butler head football coach. Kevin, when you look at your own growth from year one to year two, what sticks out to you and how much more do you think you've been able to kind of implement your culture and things you want to build with that program?
It's funny you say that. We actually talked about that as a team. Certainly, I am more comfortable in year two being at a new place and taking a new job and all those things as really don't have anything to do with football that you get used to and get settled into. But what I think is so unique and cool about coaching a place like Butler, culture is a huge word that gets thrown around in athletics and whether it's the pro level, high school level, doesn't matter. I think when you step into working at a place like Butler, you're taking over a program and you're taking over a place that has such great pride, such great tradition. You don't have to come in and put some stamp of this is how we're going to do things. These guys know how to work. They're extremely proud to play for Butler and go to school at Butler, that you're building a university that, you just got to come in and obviously we're going to do some things maybe differently offensively and defensively, but you didn't have to put a big stamp of here's how we're doing things because these guys know how to work and they know how to play the game.
And then the follow-up, Coach, I know you've been in this life pretty much all your life because your dad was a coach, but was it ever difficult for you to find your own identity in the sport because of what your dad influenced on you, but also from a standpoint of like, I can't be physically my dad, I can't think everything like my dad?
Sure. I think that question kind of gets asked a lot. I think just growing up around the game, but growing around sports and I got, 3 older siblings and 2 older brothers that played and are both coaches and things like that. I think that we were always kind of trained to be our own people and I think we probably think from a philosophical standpoint, or the core things of coaching are very, very similar, but we're all not the same, and definitely our own personalities. But I definitely take a lot from my dad. I think probably the biggest thing I would take from him in regards to that question is, reach out and find ways of things you like to do, and take things from good people and implement it to your own. But yeah, certainly there's things that I definitely would try to emulate from my dad from a leadership standpoint and a character standpoint, and obviously, the relationships he made with players through the years.
How about Bill Lynch, Colleen Donahue, my mother, the same class as Chatard High School back in the day, if we're throwing it back a little.
I've been to Bishop Chatard a few times.
Yeah, a little while. Kevin Lynch is with us here. I've seen this man swing a golf club, and let's say James Boyd's golf club swing makes my eyes blind. Kevin Lynch's swing looks like, honestly, pretty legit here, and his Bulldogs will try to be pretty legit coming up this fall. Coach, let's start here. It's obviously a hot-button topic at the top of college football right now. I'm curious, you guys at the FCS level, where do you fall into the NIL transfer portal puzzle? How do you view those two items in regards to your program?
Yeah, I think, number one, our league, the PFL, Pioneer Football League, is unique to it all, where we do not offer athletic scholarships, so it's all merit-based. NIL-wise, our league right now, you cannot tell somebody they can't make NIL, but we don't actively rev share, and which is nice because it's league-wide. But you're affected by it for sure, in all different levels. I think you are in college football because obviously kids have the opportunity to earn money and move up or move down, however they want to do to play and try to brand themselves. I think that we are a little bit more of what Division I football was 10 years ago, in my opinion, of what that looks like and kind of our calendar and how we recruit. And you're really looking at having a guy for 4 or 5 years. Sure, we'll have some transfers, and we've gotten our fair share of transfers to come in as well to help. But honestly, probably not much different than it was 10 years ago. You just didn't hear about it as much or talk about it as much. But it's certainly something that's always talked about. And I know it's in the back of kids' minds, and it's just kind of the nature of the beast that we have right now. But I'm not as affected as I was by it, certainly when, let's say, I was at Ball State.
Let's give away a couple 4-packs on the text line. Mark, dogs, and I want it spelled like dogs. D-A-W-G-S.
We don't want no cats. We don't want no cats. We need some dogs.
I don't want D-O-G-S. No. That's soft. This is the fall. We're going to get real here on Saturday afternoon. D-A-W-G-S, 2 4-packs to Butler's home opener, season opener, I should say, coming up on Saturday afternoon at the Selleck Bowl. Coach, again, second year for you as the head football coach. What was the most and first-time head coach last year, most unusual thing that came across your desk as now being the top of the program?
Oh, man, unusual. I don't know if I could.
Unusual, hardest thing now that it's like this is your program and you are the final person.
I would say probably more than anything, just everything comes to your desk. And you know that as an assistant because you've worked for people and seen that. And whether that's a player situation, whether that's an alum situation, and a situation is probably the bad word to use, but anything that you need to be involved with and make sure you're in good communication with and privy to what's going on and making sure you're communicating back, whether it's with parents, whether it's with players, and certainly alums. And one thing that I think is so cool about Butler, specifically going to it, the fact that it's a very prideful place and a lot of people want to be involved, and it's awesome, but that's certainly something that you got to budget time for and be up to speed on.
Last one I got for you, Coach. What does Reagan Andrew mean to your program? I know he had a really productive 2025 season, comes back again as a redshirt senior and has an opportunity to obviously lead you guys.
Yeah, Reagan is one of the best leaders I've ever been around, and pound for pound, one of the best football players. It's he can do so many things for you. I don't know what position he couldn't play for us and probably be the best player on our team other than, O-line or D-line, something like that. Just a great competitor, a winner, that gets thrown around, but just looking back at his high school years and what he was able to do there. And then as soon as he got here and what he's been able to do, but he's a guy that you talk about a coach on the field, but also just a tremendous competitor and one of the toughest kids I've ever been around. So I'm glad 13's on our team. I can tell you that.
It'll be Georgetown here to start the season. They'll actually take on the defending national champs in Montana State here early on. Then the Pioneer League is a challenge as always, but Butler will try to improve on finishing kind of middle of the pack last year. Picked to finish, I believe, 5th in the Pioneer League. Kevin Lynch with us here. Coach, really enjoyed chatting with you at our fan golf outing back in the spring. Always love bringing the family out to the Selleck Bowl here this fall, so we'll definitely do that. And
Coach has got to give me some tips. He coaches football. I need coaches on the swings.
Yeah, man, he don't have time for that.
Can't work
honest,
a miracle?
Yeah, exactly. I know.
I certainly hope we play better on Saturday than my golf swing. I can tell you that. But
all right, yeah.
I hope people come out because it's really good football, and I promise you're going to see guys that play really hard and really love to play the game. And it's a really good level of football, and it's a great college football atmosphere here at the Bowl.
I would echo all of that. Coach, thanks for the time, man. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate what you guys do.
That is Kevin Lynch, and again, we're asking for dogs, D-A-W.
We don't want no cats. We want dogs.
On the text line, we're giving away a couple 4-packs to Butler's home opener. Speaking of the Bulldogs, a big-time recruit for Ronald Norred and company basketball-wise. Jaylon Lyons, hope I'm saying that first name right, top 50 recruit by all accounts, a point guard, committing to them yesterday out of the Maryland area. And I know we discussed this back when we had Ronald in studio a few months ago, but James, I think you came across him, a couple times in your years covering the Pacers.
Yeah, great human being, great coach.
Yes, he's a first-time head coach, and those always come with questions. But I do think he offers a high ceiling of like, wait a minute, you did this in the NBA? Oh, you have these sorts of connections. People at that level think this highly of you. Now you can enter a different door, high school recruiting-wise. And
Absolutely.
I think Butler's an interesting point. You're probably not going to live in the portal. But nowadays, James, these top 50 recruits, I think they're struggling a little bit to find the definite top 5, top 10 teams in college basketball that are ready to give them the attention and, frankly, the money that they're seeking out, because those schools are saying, wait a minute, I need that for the portal next offseason.
Yeah.
So these high school recruits, I think it'll be interesting to watch these rankings and see where these guys end up going to school initially out of high school here. So some good news there for Ronald Norred as he embarks on year 1.
Yes. So Jaylon Lyons, just to give you a little more info on him, he had other offers from Syracuse, Maryland, Tennessee, took official visits to those schools, but ended up coming to Indianapolis to join Butler. He's the number 1 player in Maryland and the 44th player in the nation per 24/7 Sports. So quite the player, and he is the highest rated Butler recruit in history. So that is something else to think about when it comes to what Ronald Norred is trying to build and what he's already bringing in as he enters year 1 with his program.
We are live in Noblesville. The Logan Street Kroger location is where we are at. All of our stations are out here. All of our shows will be out here today, and we are help in the heartland. That's what we're all about here every day, but especially on this Wednesday as we are raising money with the American Red Cross, Fox 59, CBS 4, and Kroger. So the ways you can help, and again, this area specifically, this Kroger specifically, was impacted by the historic flooding that we've had. And, I went in there earlier. I purchased sunscreen. If you see me right now on the YouTube stream, you'll see why. And I purchased Dino Nuggets.
Yeah.
For James Boyd. Those are the 2 purchases I made. I want to say it added up to around $24 and change. I rounded right up there, got to my 25, hit the yellow button, and that roundup will go to the American Red Cross.
Those Dino Nuggets got to be turning.
They're not turning. They're still kind of cold.
Keep them in the shade, man. Keep them in the shade, and once we get to West 56th Street, boom, that's going in the fridge.
Me and Chap, Dino Nuggets. I'm set.
And you're set.
I'm set.
And also, if you can't make it out to your local Kroger, just text. And, Mark, I think this is what we're going to do, okay? Hear me out on this. Fantasy football spot. Let's give it away right now. And how about we give it away by you texting GIVE to the text line. So that means all of those that want to join the Fantasy Football League, they're going to get a donation link if they would like to also donate to that. So, Mark, pick one of the GIVE texters, and they have a spot in our Fantasy Football League. And also, hopefully some people will see that.
Yeah, and make sure you give people.
Donation link, and they will give. So if you can, please help out our neighbors in need. Colts practice coming up. I guess day 2 of us now being back at the complex. Alec Pierce watch continues?
Absolutely. I've been uploading videos every day for everyone to dissect his gait, his walk, his, what else, skip. I don't know, KB. I just feel like we're due to get some sort of concrete news here, I would hope, in the next couple of days. And if he returns this week, that will be a positive sign for his development. And to give Alec some credit here, he did tell us from the very beginning it was a 4 to 6 month recovery. We're in month 5 right now, so he still has time. He himself never delayed his recovery. Where the hiccup kind of came, Kevin, was Chris Ballard, the Colts GM, saying at the beginning of training camp he was going to only need 1 or 2 weeks. And now we're a month into training camp and past training camp, and it's over, and he's still not out there. But to Alec's credit again, he never told us that he was going to be back too soon. So we're in month 5, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Couple other Pierce-related items, I think, just to make sure we're all on the same page here, James.
Are you going to mention that his dad's in a band?
No.
His dad's in a band.
Really?
Seriously. They performed.
Greg Pierce, is that correct?
Yes, they performed at Touchdown Town, I believe.
Oh, I did see Pierce out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alec, that is.
Yes.
He, introduced his dad's band?
Yes.
Yeah.
I need to follow up on that.
Next thing you know, his dad's band's going to be playing at Harry's Chocolate Shop up there in West Lafayette.
This is what you can do when your son is the man.
Once Caden Pierce is out there. Listener Karen stopped by earlier, big Pacer fan, big Purdue fan. She'll be cheering for Caden Pierce upcoming this season with Matt Painter's bunch. James, August 26th, today.
Yes.
The Colts play real football on September 13th. Between now and September 13th, my best guess is the Colts will have around 7 to 8 more practices.
Right.
Today and tomorrow will be 2 of those. You'll have 3 the week of the game.
Yep.
And then probably next week they'll be right around 3-ish. So 7 to 8 to ramp it up.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that's assuming that today he gets called up from the PUP list. Or tomorrow he gets called up from the PUP list.
Right.
Shane Second used the word hopeful that he practices this week. You know what I've always said about hopeful, man?
You're hopeful to play at Augusta.
I'm hopeful to play at Augusta. You think I could get a hold of the pro shop? Just be like, hey, you guys got any Twilight tea times today?
Yeah, I don't think that's how it works there.
No. It's not like the beautiful Fox Prairie or the beautiful Forest Park.
But I told you, if I ever won
Located
the little
right here.
raffle, I would give it to you. If I ever covered the Masters, that is.
Gosh, can you imagine if you covered the Masters and somehow you won the lottery?
I absolutely would not disgrace myself or defame that esteemed place by putting my swing out there on display. No chance.
Start praying for the caddy now that somehow got James Boyd to caddy for
I mean,
him
you don't have to
Monday
pray
after the
for him
Masters.
because, I mean, how much further do you think I'm going to get down the course?
Well,
got to hit the ball to do that. I can't even hit the ball.
Yeah, that actually is a good point. You don't hit it far enough to lose it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is a fair point. Okay.
It's going to take a very long time to get through the course.
Yes. You're methodical.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like Army and Navy's offense.
Oh, yeah.
18 play drives. We can't have holding penalties.
Exactly.
Mark, let's go ahead and check it down.
The Morning Checkdown on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
All right, other items from Colts practice yesterday. Chavarius Ward did return, so good news.
Yes.
For the veteran cornerback in his back injury, did some individual drills. It does sound like Will Mallory's thumb injury could impact week 1, and maybe we can get more into this tomorrow, James, but I really enjoyed hearing Cam Bynum get into pretty specific detail on what it is like now to be the quarterback of the Colts defense. He is your green dot. He is your communicator. He is your defensive signal caller. It's him and Lou Anarumo, and to say they probably have some animated conversations, well, it's a one-way conversation. To say Lou probably has some animated words for Cam Bynum, play in, play out, would probably be an understatement.
Absolutely. I think our listeners will really appreciate how candid, like you said, Cam Bynum was, but also just how much information Lou has to give him. He has to relate to the defense, all within a matter of about 40 seconds. So it's pretty fascinating stuff and lets you kind of inside the mind of Cam Bynum.
Fever back to practice today. They'll take on Connecticut coming up on Friday. The Sun are not very good at basketball. The Fever, again, trying to improve their standing within a very jumbled playoff picture. They're in the playoffs. There's no question about that. They've clinched. But again, where they stand in the 1 through 8 bracket, will they get home court? That is a big question. The schedule on paper looks pretty manageable here to close out the season. What wasn't manageable was Mark Dykton watching the Cubs play baseball yesterday.
Yeah, Mark, I felt for you, buddy.
I was too busy sleeping. I was in REM sleep, and I was like, oh, they went to bed, and they were up 4-0. Woke up, they lost 5-4. I'm like, the hell happened? Oh, the bullpen again. Disgusting.
That's kind of unusual, James, for you to be having empathy for Mark's Cubs.
I just feel like their bullpen has been so rough. I'm like, you guys should have won a lot more games in this recent stretch.
They should be 5-0 on their road trip, and instead they've gotten walked off 3 times. Disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty painful. And I feel like you're the real rival when it comes to baseball anyway.
You were talking about me?
Yes.
Well, yeah.
You're dancing on his grave this morning.
Well, yeah. There is a saying in the rivalry, though, if the other team needs to win for it really to be a rivalry.
Oh, dang. See what I mean? Mark, this is why I showed you some love, because this dude has no love in his heart.
Kevin's trying not to just get a stroke right now.
Just ruthless.
Am I wrong?
You're not wrong. You know me. I'd say the high road has too much traffic anyway.
That's why USC ran away from Notre Dame. Notre Dame's beat them 7 of 8. It ain't a rivalry anymore.
That's all right.
By the way, listener Derek here on the text line was asking me if I knew that Kesha was at Ruoff. Mark, would you like to fill Derek in on this?
Oh, he's well aware because I brought that up, and it was the same day that NFL roster cuts are going. So Kevin already got kicked in the groin today, and it was because he's not going to be going to Kesha.
You.
No Kesha. You enjoy that. Maybe you can roll your window down. Maybe you'll hear the faint sounds of timber being played.
Honestly, I could probably hear it from this Kroger. This is probably about the closest that I'm going to get to it here. An unbelievable TV rating for IndyCar and their Freedom 250 in the nation's capital over the weekend. I want to make sure I've got this number right. 3.2 million? Yes, 3.2 million viewers. It's the most watched non-Indy 500 since 2008. I was graduating from high school in 2008.
Boy, in 2008, I was 2 years away from going to high school. You old, huh?
Yeah, I'm old, man. Look at the gray in the beard. Tells you everything you need to know. Great TV rating there for IndyCar. It actually peaked an hour into the race, which I think is pretty strong as well. They'll be up in Milwaukee. It'll be a doubleheader on that oval coming up this weekend. IU basketball announced their non-conference schedule yesterday. A lot of neutral site flavor to it. Again, they'll be in Gainbridge Fieldhouse to take on Syracuse coming up in early November. They'll be in Madison Square Garden to take on John Calipari in Arkansas the next week. And then in December, right, is when they take on Kentucky at Lucas Oil. I think that's in December. Actually, it might be in November now that I think about it. I'll double-check that for you there. But that starts continues, I should say, the series with Kentucky that started last year in Rupp. But really no marquee home game. I guess maybe you call Missouri that. But definitely no true road game on the non-conference schedule there for Indiana. All right, much more on where we are at from the Colts, and I still cannot stop thinking about Supermarket Sweep. That's literally been on my mind so much this morning. We're live here at Kroger, and I'm looking at the shopping carts, and I'm just thinking about...
So do you think Dino Nuggets would have helped us?
I actually do. I think it was like $13 for the Dino Nuggets.
Okay, so that would have helped us in our Supermarket Sweep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, again, I wouldn't put it above the baby formula.
Yeah.
I mean, Similac you might as well fill the whole
Yeah, well, you know me. I'm the guy who's very informed about parenting here, so just listen up.
I feel like diapers
formula
are sneaky expensive, too. Those would add up, too.
Yeah, I'm still going formula over diapers, but yes, formula, frozen turkeys. Someone mentioned earlier packaged brisket.
Oh, okay.
You know, when you get in the meat section, you need to be specific.
Well, Mark, don't forget, he mentioned drugs.
Yeah, prescription drugs.
Mark, I don't remember the pharmacy ever being allowed to be used in supermarkets.
Were
you watching the X version?
He's watching a bootleg version, man. You know, Mark, he always clicking on stuff that he ain't supposed to click on, man.
I was going to say, man, NSFW, not safe for work, man. That's what you're clicking on.
Throwing in all the Astroglide I can find.
Oh, boy.
How do the cash bonuses work, too, in Supermarket Sweep?
You're asking me about a show that I haven't seen in 15 years, Kevin. My goodness.
Wasn't it always like they were just under some? They always like mentioned it was in like a certain section and you had to find it. I think that's how it worked.
Right. Gosh, I really wish I didn't have to go to Colts practice today. I just want to go home and binge Supermarket Sweep.
I don't know. I feel like hanging out here would be pretty cool, too. It's been great to have the show out here in Noblesville, raising money for the American Red Cross, which will donate all this money we raise to the residents that were affected by the floods here in central Indiana. So if you do want to donate as well, you want to get involved, come on out here to Kroger, your local Kroger as well. Round up when you check out, or you can text GIVE to 317-239-1070. You get a link back to donate to the cause.
That is James Boyd. I am Kevin Bowen. We are live here in Noblesville, as James said. Thank you to Cam. Thank you to Nick, Amanda, Brittany, so much of our team that have been out there making this possible. Continue to chat about helping out our neighbors in need and get you set for the Colts preseason finale coming up on Saturday. What's the plan for the starters? We'll share that with you next here. 93.5 107.5 The Fan. The Andy Moore Group campus in Avon. It's a one-stop shop for brands right off. Rockville Road's always the place to be. And out there in Avon, you have got Kia, you've got Nissan, you've got Toyota, and you have the Volkswagen brand. And you know what? Shout out to their GM out there, Mike. He's actually a Noblesville native, and that's where we are at today. He makes the drive out there, and that's what you should do. Car shopping, can be a bit stressful, but the beautiful thing about the Andy Moore Nissan campus out there is Nissan is there, but so is Toyota, so is Kia, and so is Volkswagen. So make sure you head out there today. Tell them Kevin Bowen sent you. Again, it is one campus, 4 brands. Kia, Volkswagen, Nissan, Toyota, the Andy Moore Group campus. Beautiful place to compare, contrast, new, used, hybrid models. All of that is available to you. Head out to the Rockville Road Andy Moore Group campus today and tell them Kevin Bowen sent you.
Today's Fox 59 Weather Authority forecast from the Armor Air Weather Center. Armor Air, we do what's right on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
We're going to have partly cloudy skies today ahead of widely scattered showers and thunderstorms later this afternoon and evening. A few strong to severe storms are possible. I am Fox 59 meteorologist Amber Hardwick for The Fan.
This is the Fan Morning Show with Kevin Bowen and James Boyd.
A good Wednesday morning to you. It's been a really, really fun show, and most importantly, we're doing a lot of good for the community, and our listeners have been unbelievable, and our partners have been unbelievable in helping in that cause. We are live here at the Noblesville location, the Logan Street location up here, and what we're doing is partnering with the American Red Cross. Thank you to CBS4, Fox 59. Thank you to Kroger. For those unfamiliar, this very Kroger location was underwater just in the last few days, few weeks, as we have dealt with these historic floods, and this part of Hamilton County has been especially hit hard. So, James, I want to make sure that our donation advice is pretty crystal clear here. One, you can stop into a Kroger location, and when you check out, there's a little roundup button. You can hit that, and those proceeds will go to Central Indiana and those neighbors that are in need. Also, if you'd like, you can text us. And, Mark, I'm scrolling through the text line right now. We got a ton of people that have reached out here. They have texted the word GIVE. That's 317-239-1070, GIVE. And what we've done today is we've actually given away one of our spots in the Fantasy Football League via that word. So if you text GIVE, yes, you have a chance to be in our Fantasy Football League. But, again, most importantly, you got that donation link, and you're able to help out our neighbors in need. And, James, right now we are joined by Dale Needleman, and he is with Technology Recyclers. I want to make sure I got that right.
Yes,
thank you, Dale, for hopping on with us. And most importantly, Dale, you have given quite the donation on this Wednesday morning. So from me and so many other people, thank you for that.
Well, you're welcome. This is a community where we live and work, and to see it devastated 10 days ago is kind of difficult. It's a beautiful morning today, but like you said, this Kroger was underwater last week. So we were happy to make, for us, a pretty significant donation to the Red Cross to help out this relief effort.
And Dale, you were sharing advice when it comes to giving a donation. If you don't mind with our listeners, as I can feel some sweat already starting to drip off my grayish beard here from the sun, but you were referencing what maybe your wife has told you before about this?
Well, many years ago, actually, a senior business partner to me gave me some advice about giving in these difficult situations. He said the easiest way to do it is write down a number between 1 and 9 and then add zeros to it till you start sweating. And that's when you know that's the right place to be. And, for everybody, that's different. I've been standing out here this morning. It's somewhat of a festive event with people coming up to the Kroger and making cash donations, walking up with their grocery bag and throwing down $2, $5, or $20, whatever the case is. But every little bit helps, and I know that the people in this community will appreciate it.
And again, Dale Needleman is joining us here from Technology Recyclers. You were also telling us during the break about how those who might have been affected by the floods can get rid of, or actually safely get rid of, some of their devices that might have been affected by water.
Yeah, absolutely. FEMA's put a plan in place now, and they're rolling that out for collecting those devices. I believe up here in Hamilton County, they're going to have you separate electronics at the curb from the other waste. Our company actually services the Hamilton County hazardous waste department. If you've ever dropped off electronics there, those go to us. We're a veteran-owned company. We're 100% landfill free, and we guarantee data destruction. So you've got enough problems with trying to get your life back on track. You don't need to worry about your electronics. I know that, again, there'll be a plan to put them out at the curb. If you prefer, you could bring them directly to us. We're at 8401 East Washington Street. No appointment needed, Monday through Friday, 9 to 3. and we will take care of those. We'll keep them out of the earth. Last year, we recycled 8 million pounds, and not a pound of it went into landfills.
Technology recyclers. Again, Dale Needleman is with us here live in Noblesville. We are at the Kroger location off of Logan Street. Dale, you a sports fan at all?
I am. I'm a Colts ticket holder. I grew up a Bears fan, and I suffered through that for many years, but I'm proud to be a Colts, certainly a Colts fan. And I like sports in general, and sure, I love what's going on in our city with the Fever and the Colts getting ready to start, and we just got some great stuff happening.
Are you a proponent of the Bears calling Hammond, Indiana home?
I'm not, and I say and I say BS to that. I used to live in Chicago. I grew up there, and I've watched this movie many, many, many times. And at the last minute and the last second of the contracts, Chicago always came through with a big package deal to save them. I cannot imagine Chicago would give up the Bears ever. So is it going to happen? My friends tell me I'm wrong, and it's going to come to Indiana, but I have made the bet a number of times for dinner that I bet they stay in Chicago.
Now, our producer, Dale, Mark Dykton, is a diehard Chicago Bears fan. Mark, when you hear Dale paint out that picture here upcoming, your response would be what?
100%, I agree. I don't think they're leaving. I think they'll find a way in the midnight hour. They'll all of a sudden, find a way to keep them in Arlington Heights or something. I don't think they're going to Hammond.
See, I would believe Dale, but I don't know if I believe Mark. So you might be wrong by proximity to him.
Mark, we've never met, and I think that you're probably right because I think I'm probably right. I grew up there. We heard this a lot through the years, and in the middle of the night, those mail-in ballots come, and next thing you know, you wake up in the morning, and all of a sudden they're the Chicago Bears again. So I just cannot imagine that they would give up that revenue and tax base. So we'll see. I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'll admit I'm wrong. And will I go see him in Hammond? No. I'm still a Colts fan.
I was going to say, you're truly transferred over to the Colts side.
I have transferred over, and the one wall hanging I have in my Colts room when it was the Bears-Colts in a Super Bowl.
Yep.
We know the final score, and that way I get to celebrate both my teams.
There you go.
Well, part of me thought with the Colts no longer camping up at Grand Park, might the Chicago Bears call that training campsite home if they become.
You're pushing that one.
Yeah, he's full of it.
It's a little early in the morning for that.
It's a beautiful complex.
Check that cup.
Yeah.
I know Mark Dykton would certainly endorse seeing his Bears in that backyard. Dale, in all seriousness, thank you so much for the donation. And again, technology recyclers. Tell our audience a little bit more about what you guys do.
Yeah, we're a computer and electronics recycling company. We're in our 16th year. We're privately held here in Indianapolis. Our permanent location is 8401 East Washington Street, the old Elfish Furniture Building, and everybody knows that building. They've bought a couch there, and no, we don't take back furniture, but we do take electronics, and we got a few things that make us special. We're Indiana veteran owned. We're 100% landfill free, and we have the highest level of certifications for data destruction in the industry. I recycle for everybody, and we hold events in communities. We just had an event in Carmel 2 weeks ago. We have events in Fishers and all over. And again, you can drop off old, broken, used, waterlogged, drowned electronics to our location Monday through Friday, 9 to 3. So that's how we help. We're saving the earth. And really and truly, on behalf of my partners and the ownership of Technology Recyclers and all of our employees, we're proud to be able to give this money for something so important for this community.
Well, saving the earth and saving some lives, and even if it might not be in the physical sense, the mental sense, just with what everybody's going through right now here in Hamilton County. So, Dave, thank you for that. Thank you for the time. And just a reminder, everybody out there, American Red Cross, that's who we're partnering with. And GIVE, G-I-V-E, on our text line, 317-239-1070. That'll give you the link that you need to provide some help. We'll be back one final time here, Fan Morning Show.
This is the Fan Morning Show with Kevin Bowen and James Boyd.
Well, it has been a whole lot of Dolly on this Wednesday morning. Mark Dykton, as you would guess, all over it. Rest in peace to certainly a legend in front of a mic and certainly away from the mic, and probably one of the more universally loved individuals that our country has seen in quite some time. James Boyd is back from the inside of the Kroger store, and boy, is that what I see.
That is indeed what you see. Hold it up for the camera.
I feel like I'm holding up Simba. This is unbelievable here.
Yeah.
I got some blue Powerade
My
in
boy
the
is
building.
right.
How about that? Dino Nuggets for James, blue Powerade for
There
your
you
boy.
go, baby. Yes, sir.
Oh,
there's Kevin's fourth kid.
Man. Gosh, and listener Mike delivered some Reds peanuts.
You're living life, man.
Oh, my gosh. This is amazing. This is amazing. Most importantly, though, we're raising money for the American Red Cross.
Absolutely.
So, if you can, I would say come out and say hi to us, but we're about ready to be out of here. Jake Query, of course, will be here 10 to 1. JMV will be here later today. And James, all our stations are out at this location. We are at the Kroger in Noblesville, Logan Street. And it is amazing. You know, Dale was talking about this in the previous segment. It's amazing to see, like, this gorgeous Wednesday. Tuesday was beautiful. Monday was beautiful. We've had great weather here over the last handful of days. And you forget, a week or two ago, this place was underwater.
Yeah.
And so much of Hamilton County is still, suffering from this. So the proceeds that are raised today by shopping at your local Kroger, doing the roundup at the checkout, texting our text line, 317-239-1070, give. If you say that word, you'll get the kickback link for a donation. You can donate there as well. Mike on site just donated a crispy $100 bill to us. So thank you to so many people out there. Help in the Heartland, Kroger, CBS 4, Fox 59, us at Radio 1, and, of course, the American Red Cross. Neighbors in need. We're trying to do our part to help out here on this Wednesday morning.
Yeah, this is the type of stuff that really humanizes the show, and I think it just puts things into perspective. I was very fortunate to not be affected by any of the flooding because I live near downtown Indianapolis, but it doesn't mean that I don't want to take care of my neighbor or help out those who are in need. And you all know I have a lot of love for Noblesville. I spent a lot of Friday nights in high school basketball, Tuesday nights out here at the Mills, so the least you can do is just give back to the people who obviously need it, and we're all in this together.
Shout out to the Fighting Tom Coverdale. Shout out to the great Forest Park Golf Course, the greatest sledding hill in all of America, the 9th hole out there at Forest Park. Unfortunately, still underwater, it sounds like, from chatting with some local listeners here. But it has been a fun show, and because we are trying to do our part to help those in need. James, we're off to Colts practice here in a few minutes, and they practice today at, 1 o'clock?
Yes.
So as we sit here at 9:50, Alec Pierce remains on the physically unable to perform list. And just to remind everybody, in order to practice, he's got to be called off that list. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, I should probably know this. Do you have to have a corresponding roster move with him?
I do believe so because he's technically an inactive player. So if he gets moved off the physically unable to perform list, then I think someone else would have to get moved off of the active roster. I'm
trying to think back to C.J. Allen when he was on PUP. For some reason, I felt like there wasn't because he was on the active PUP list, but maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You know what? It's the end of the show, people. We promise we'll have this figured out for you tomorrow.
We're just confusing the hell out of people.
I'm sorry.
We're just
the
confusing
bottom line is
people.
for the things that actually matter, you don't need Alec Pierce on the physically unable to perform list when the season starts. If he's still on that list, he must miss the first 4 games of the year. So that's all you got to worry about. When is he off of that list? And if he off of that list by Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern time.
Sunday, 6 o'clock. Yes,
off
he needs to be
PUP list.
Off the PUP list by then. Man, I'm just dreaming about Blue Powerade and Supermarket Sweep.
Hey, man, it's a good life. It's a good life.
Yeah, wait, Mark dropped the nerd sounder on me about Supermarket Sweep. Mark, come on. Supermarket Sweep is a gem.
But the fact that you were like thinking about it for hours and hours, and like, I wish I didn't have to do my job and I can watch Supermarket Sweep all day. I'm like, Kevin, get your act together.
What do you want? You want me to dream about Sydney Sweeney or dream about Supermarket Sweep?
Well, I know which one I would choose over the other, but I mean, different strokes for different folks.
It's probably where I say I dream about neither. I dream about Maddie Bowen.
Oh, whoo, that boy smooth, ain't he?
I've already texted her.
That boy
she's
smooth,
not
ain't he?
happy.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
You know, he's always texting your wife. I don't know about that one.
I know.
Got to keep an eye on that guy.
Jake Query looking good. That
He
polo
is.
on, those shorts
Yeah.
tucked in. Jake Query's look good. Is this the theme song to Supermarket Sweep?
It is,
I know
yeah.
Jake is all over. Would be all over. Jake, what's the first thing you're buying in Supermarket Sweep? Canned hams, he says.
Jeez.
Look at that. Said weight or price, both duly affected. Jake would be all over this. I knew he would be. I also thought baby formula, Jake.
Similac.
Diapers, large laundry detergent. Although you talk about weight, boy, that could really fill up your cart real quick.
Yeah.
People were trying to vouch for cereal. They're like, cereal's expensive now. I'm like, really?
It ain't inexpensive relative to like buying
That's what I'm
meat,
saying. Yeah.
brisket.
I know.
But they're not lying about the cereal. That's why I don't eat it anymore.
We've had so many people stop by and say, hey, James, I'd be remiss if I named everybody, but Spencer, Mark working here at Kroger. Spencer's here locally. Shout out to Karen, Pacer fan, Purdue fan, says she listens to us on a daily basis. We had Gracie along with Carol. They made us some homemade cinnamon rolls. Carlton dropped off the donuts. Oh, man.
It just sounds like we're not going to be counting any calories.
No.
Not today, right?
No. That waits till tomorrow. Till
Exactly.
we're back in studio
There you
tomorrow.
go.
Coming up tomorrow. If you are in the area, that would be the Hamilton County area, of course. Come out and say hey. Again, Jake will have you covered here from 10 to 1. John will be obviously in his normal 3 to 6 time slot. And if you're a fan of any of our other sister stations, we've got you covered up here as well. So make sure you come out and say hey. And it's been a great morning, honestly, being able to be a small part in raising money in this action. Locally, sports-wise, James, we're still kind of in that quiet period this week. I know tomorrow, locally, you'll get a UIndy Marion football game. You'll get that going at Key Stadium. You'll get Butler in action. We had Kevin Lynch on. That will be taking place on Saturday, 1 o'clock. Butler and Georgetown, their season opener, the Fever. It is a Friday home game for them. And so you've got that coming up as they round out this post-FIBA break. Tomorrow on the show, we'll see. Again, where is Alec Pierce at? Did he practice? We'll recap what happened as we were able to watch all of Colts practice here coming up this afternoon. Big thanks on site. Cam, Nick, getting so many stations set up here. Really appreciate that. Amanda, Brittany, their teams, promotions, events. This is a big ordeal for us to get everything set up here and get going. So really appreciate everybody's help with that. Jake Query's got you covered. 10 to 1 Fan Morning Show. Signing off. Kevin Bowe and James Boyd.